Hello. How is everybody this beautiful Tuesday evening, especially now the weather's got, it's a little bit better around where I am. I don't know what it's like around where you guys are, but it's certainly warmed up in Coventry. Hi, Amy. Hey, Cringe Critter World. Hey, Callum. Hey, Trond. Hey, Bugsy. Hey, Osman. Hey, Tony. Hi, Gemma. Hey, Mandy. Hey, Jackie. I think that's just about everybody. Hey, Aaron. 1 second. Hey, Charlie. My God, laptop was just like literally going to me as I'm trying to set all this up tonight. Turned it on, went to go into StreamYard, and it's going, you have no devices connected. I was like, oh my God, so I had to restart the computer and all sorts. Hey, Leah, I have no idea. I think what I'm going to have to do is just give the laptop a little like clean out, I think, and just get rid of all the old videos that I've still got stored on here and stuff. Hey, Maddie and Joe. And try and get it a bit better. Free up a load of memory. Hey, Scruff. Yeah, so tonight is just an open mic night. Just going for a nice chilled one again. Next week we're having somebody on that's not been on the lives for a little while, so it's going to be a really interesting catch up. It should be a really nice night next week. But tonight we're just going for a chilled one. Just inviting any of you guys to come and join me on the screen. If you've never done it before, do not worry, do not panic. If you just want to come on the stream and just chill out with me for a little bit, that's completely fine. But I'll put that link down into the comments. Somebody just tell me that my microphone's working as well, because you know what the history is there. What's new for this week? I've used that commission stuff finally with the Spider Shop, and I've got something coming towards the end of the month, which is going to be pretty cool. But that's been about it invert wise. There's been a lot going on family wise for me personally this week, so I've not been able to do a lot or invest a lot of time with the inverts, unfortunately, this week. But over the next couple of weeks, certainly will be, that's for sure. Anybody got anything new since last Tuesday? Let me know down in those comments, and we will relay it straight onto the stream as well for you guys. I've just clicked for Charlie to come up, and it's not come up. Hopefully he will in a second. There we go.
What's up?
Hello.
Oh, how awful is that? All my drawers are open. Yeah, 1 second.
Hey, Caesar. Oh, Charlie's drawers are open. That means you might see his pants. Craig saving for Coventry.
Bosh. Better. What's up,
well, Amy's got a sling box, and it was awesome. What's new with you this week, Charlie? Anything?
I had a mature male pokepies get eaten. Yeah. I took on a load of animals from my friend, actually.
Awesome.
Got about 10 tarantulas from my friend. Yeah, apart from that. That's about. Oh, well, actually, there is something.
Oh.
You know, I told you about it. I sent you a picture.
Oh. Give me 1 second then. Mandy's got a velvet. Oh my God, the one I can never pronounce. Guandanameno arriving.
Guandanameno.
That's the one.
I have 2 of those now, actually. Oh, that is.
Hey, Richard. It's a guando. Do you know when you look at the word, it doesn't for me, it doesn't look like it should say guando. But
or Guandanameno, I think it's pronounced actually. What's up, Ling?
For me, pronunciation of words I see is pretty difficult anyway half the time, to be honest.
There's one you pronounce that always makes me chuckle a little bit. I can't remember which one it is though. No, that's understandable. Huh?
Hi Ian. Hey Chaz. Oh, Amy's got a Brachypalma Bohemia, HMAC, OBT, RCF, a Rufus, and some stickers. That's a nice Ling Sling box.
A Ling Sling box?
Ling Sling box.
Wait, what was so gangster, Ling?
I'm all right, Susan. It's It's just I've had a bit of a troublesome week with family this week. It's been a bit difficult. Do you know when you've been in a situation? Hi, James. When you've been in a situation like 20 years ago, and you know that situation, you know exactly how it's going to roll out, and then you see somebody else doing the same thing but making
mate,
a pig's ear of it,
don't.
and then the person in the middle just happens to be your mum. That's what's going. That's what's been going on this week, and then Tara's had some really bad news. But
It's even worse when it turns out the same as how it did for you, and you knew you were right all along. And
oh yeah,
I know that.
It's like if something happened 30 years ago, there's only so long you can dwell on it for. And I always think, if you're going to dwell on it for 30 years, then you really need to do something about it and release it somehow. But I don't know. But it wasn't to do with me, but it affected my mum, and anything that affects my mum, I'm like, yeah, you leave my mum alone. Do you know what I mean? Hey, my pet. Hey, Carl. Good evening, people. Been a few weeks since I got on the summer holidays. I've got my floor. Scott, did you see the pit? I didn't, mate. I've been in and out of the WhatsApp group. Tara's in tonight. Hey, baby. Hope you're okay. Tara, can I let everybody know what's gone on with you this week or not? If you put yes, then it's yes. If you don't answer, then I'll keep it personal. But yeah. So Tim's got us on in the background on feeding and watering. He's feeding and watering about a million scorpions, isn't he? And sorting stuff out ready for the Glasgow. Tari says, yeah. So Tara's stepdad passed away a couple of days ago. But my God, it gets so worse than that. That was just the tip of the iceberg. So she's been really upset. Her sister. Hey, Mark. Hey, no worries. Hi, Victoria. Yeah, her sister's just like, as a lot of you know, is an utter nightmare. So we sent her off to. I managed to get her in with people that I know. I think it was last year into a rehabilitation centre. So she went there, got off drugs and all the rest of it, came out and everything was great. But now, Tara's stepdad passed away. So she decided to go to the hospital, pretend to be somebody else, and get his keys and his bank cards and all the rest of it.
I'm surprised you can even do that.
That's what I said. But you don't need ID or nothing. You can just walk in and say, I'm next to kin. And as long as you've got their details, you're pretty much. I'll tell you what. We'll save that conversation for a bit later on in the night.
Good idea.
There's a lot of adult conversation in that one. Richard, are you going to the Scottish Invert show, Scott? I'm not. Mainly down to finances. So I was hoping to save up a bit of cash, but September's just around the corner. So we've got school uniforms, 2 lots to get. Layla's smashed her laptop. So when she started school, this school requires her to have a laptop. So over the course of several months, we paid off this laptop for her and all the rest of it. And brilliant. She cracked the screen on it once. We got it done on the insurance, but now she's smashed, like literally stood on it and smashed it. So 150 quid for another one. I think Tara's looking at one that's about 80 quid second hand. But the killer is anybody else that starts her school now, they get a free one. So for the Scottish show this Saturday is a no. Although again, if it had been next weekend, not this Sunday, sorry. If it had been a week on Sunday, happy days because it's payday and stuff next week. Do you know what I mean?
It's not on Saturday, is it?
Sunday, sorry, I got it wrong.
Yeah, it's weird that this one's not the last Sunday of the month either. Must be something to do with it being in Scotland and them having limited. I don't know.
I think it's something to do with the bank holidays.
Okay. Yeah, well, this will be I think this will be the only one I'm not going to as well until the end of the year.
but it's a lot of money for somebody just to go up. Do you know what I mean? Unless you do it working a stand or you own a stand, it's a lot of money. I mean, even Leah was saying it was for her to go from Wales, it would be 300 quid.
Yeah, mate, I won't be doing that one too much.
Exactly, and it's hard enough trying to get to all the shows with a couple of quid in your back pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god, Chris! Hey, Stu.
Man, we got a good turnout tonight. Lots of people.
There you go, Craig. Chris is pretending to be Scott. He certainly is. Chris's partner is off work this week, so they're spending a little bit of time together and all the rest of it. So, but he is modding backstage for us as well. So there is going to be the odd little funky comment, no doubt, turn up. Osmond says, all 10 doing fine. I must have missed the rest of that conversation. Sorry. What about the Brighton one? Should be at the Brighton one. The insurance
Susan said,
hello. No, I haven't got. We didn't get insurance on it now. That's our problem.
Susan said, hello, Osmond. How's the fingers? Osmond said, hi, all 10 doing fine.
Susan says, how's the fingers?
Maybe there's something going on there. I don't know.
That sounds like something a bit fishy. How's the fingers, Osmond?
So we've got.
Yeah, we're good. Hey, Anton.
We've got Bedford, then Coventry, then Brighton, right? Is that the order?
Plus Phil's one.
Plus Phil's one's just out of my range, really.
It's literally just after Coventry as well, so it's like.
Is it? After Coventry.
Yeah.
And what day is Phil's one on as well? Is it on a Sunday or?
I think it's on the 4th of November. So you got Coventry show, you got the fireworks and everything, and then
if it's on the 4th, it's a Saturday.
Hey,
I remember there was 2 reasons why I couldn't do it. What's up, Chris?
Oh, it's on the Saturday. Oh, that was it. Yeah, Mel says it's on the Saturday. Of course it is, because we were all saying what a great idea to have it on a Saturday, as well as Thomas's are on a Saturday. Because then you've not got to worry about running home and trying to sort stuff all out on this Sunday night because you've got work the following day.
Well, sadly, Sundays I can rotate with my head chef, but Saturdays are just too much, so I wouldn't be able to do it, unfortunately.
The manager of my new job is a subscriber, and so is one of the other lads that also works there. And she's really, really supportive of the channel and everything. So I'm pretty lucky with shows and stuff like that.
Very nice.
That is Phil's show. Thank you, Chris. Chris is in the background doing the old jiggery pokery on the internet for us tonight.
Where is it again, that one?
Chris, if you wouldn't mind just sticking that one back up again. Can you hear our little one? Where's Chris? Chris, if you could put Phil's show back up again for us, that'd be fantastic. 2 seconds. Yeah, no worries. But yeah, it's down by Phil and his parents' place. Amazing Reptiles presents Milden Hall Halloween Invert Show. 10 till 4, Jubilee Centre, Recreation Way, Suffolk, IP 287HG. Leah said it's on the 4th of November. We'll just leave that up for a couple of seconds, just so anybody that wants the information can take a quick screenshot. There is a YouTuber table that's going up as well. So if you want to meet any of the YouTubers that are normally doing lives throughout the week or in chat tonight, like Leah, that's going to be there available. Tarantula Rookie is literally sorted that out. We were all going to like put a couple of quid in each, but he paid for the whole lot, bless him, and said, don't worry about it. He probably didn't want me to tell you about his generosity either, but he's not here, so I will, because he's fantastic. Crikey, you have a magic tech guy. Yeah, I do. I do. Chris is awesome, man. Half the time we spend sending messages of abuse to each other, and the rest of the time it's pure love. Lee, have you got a stand at that one? So, Charlie boy.
Yes.
Would you do you want to go over? Oh, hold on. Oh no. Would you like to tell everybody your news?
Oh yeah. So I'm moving house at the end of the month. And with the new house, I have a spider shed basically, but it's more like a small outhouse. You saw the picture I sent you. So gonna be going from currently I have 2.5 racks, and in there I reckon I can fit probably about 7. So quite a significant upgrade. Yeah.
Easy. You'll get 4 across the back.
Yeah. That's that's impressive that you managed to work that out. But yeah, 4 across the back. And it's got a futon fold-out double bed in there as well, so that'd be nice.
I keep spiders every time you go into an empty room. It's like you could get if you get 4 racking across that back wall there, you know. And normally people go, "What you want about racking?" Well, when I put spiders in, there's an empty room at work, but I don't think I'll be able to get the people that own the place to say yes.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about that. Can't wait to set it all up, and just the amount of breeding projects I'm gonna be able to get going, and all of my animals are in quite nice enclosures and like quite big enclosures, so I'm not planning to downgrade any to get more breeding projects on the go. So the fact that I can have more space is just fantastic.
What do you reckon is going to be your first breeding project when you get in? I remember you saying you'd be able to move in kind of September time?
Yeah, early September. I don't know. I really want to get another adult female Balfouri because that was awesome. I didn't have so much success. I've only got about 15 or so nymphs that made it to this stage. The sac wasn't so good, but hopefully I'm going to be able to breed Harpacteria dictator at the end of this year.
But to be fair, though, you know, if you get one survive, that's a success. It's a
Exactly.
Pair.
I said that. I said that in the group chat the other day when I was looking at them. I was like, "Oh, it's a bit of a shame." I was like, "Well, this time last year I didn't have any." So
Balfour is still one that I haven't even thought about breeding. Although I really enjoy keeping the communal.
Baboons are like my main thing. I really like them, and I'm maybe
most are really defensive, and then you come across the Balfouri, and they're just like they're like the Buddha version of a baboon.
Oh god, my female is not like that at all.
Really, mine are all dead chilled.
Oh no!
Hey, Steve.
If I even open the enclosure of my female, she goes crazy. She starts slapping and stuff.
Mine are just all mine just all chilled.
I've got one adult female and then a communal 4.
Do you find the ones in the communal are more chilled than the ones that you keep singly?
I never see the ones in the communal. Rarely.
Because I don't keep any on their own, you see. So I'm wondering if when you keep one by itself, maybe it develops its territorial boundaries, and you open it goes, get out of my house. Where it's a communal, maybe they haven't got room enough to make their own territories. Hey, Mark.
Mate, that would make so much sense.
It's just going back to my fish keeping. So when you keep Malawi, they're all quite aggressive, but if you keep them singularly, and then you add one more fish in there, they develop territories highly. But when you overstock, they're not as aggressive to each other. You get one dominant male, but the whole tank's aggression does calm down because they just have not got time to think because there's always a different fish passing by them. And you can see little arguments. So they'll get an argument, then another fish will go by, and then their attention's gone. It's on that. So I was just trying to relay that into the communal of Balfouri. But really, you could even relate that type of theory to any species on the planet, including humans.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what predators this species has. What would eat the baboon? Because it may have some. It's probably very understudied, like most arachnids. But it would be interesting to know if the balfouri was like highly predated on the island. So maybe they decided, or they started living in colonies to reduce the risk of them being predated upon.
Or are they living in colonies?
What, in the wild?
Yeah.
I believe they are. Yeah, I think that's how we first discovered they were kept communally, because there was big webs of. I don't know. Let's have a Google.
Yeah, have a Google of that one. We'll see if tech guy Chris is in the background, could have a little Google and get something up on screen maybe. But as far as predators, I mean, you'd obviously say like birds.
Okay.
And then secondly, I would probably have a guess at saying something like ants as well. Or tech guy just disappeared.
So the first thing that pops up is a tarantula collective care guide for Socotra Island baboon. It says though they
has any taxonomist been over there and checked it out?
well,
I don't think Richard's actually been to the island, has he?
no, I doubt it. But he says here, he says, though they haven't been witnessed living communally in the wild, they are one of the few species of tarantula that live communally in captivity. But then again, it is interesting, isn't it? Because we see, what's up, Steve? We see like the maternal behaviors of the adult female balfouri seem to be a lot different to other species.
Put one thing on the side and 6 fell off.
There is other species that people keep communally, but it always seems to end in in cannibalism.
I personally would never ever keep any tarantula communally other than balfouri.
Hey Gary. I mean, when it comes to like Metallicas and Regalis, UK.
I'm going to be honest, I'm sorry if anyone does keep it. I find it so weird that people keep pokies communally. Oh, wait, don't you have one actually?
Do I have a pokey communal?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's Bear that has a pokey communal.
Yeah.
I find it so weird.
It is a bit strange, but no more strange to what somebody doing Balfs would do. Hey, Chris.
Oh God, I'm getting out of here.
Oh,
Crazy Chris.
hello.
Okay.
See, I see him and he makes me smile. He makes me feel warm inside.
Has it got? It's either a lovable or punchable face. I'm not quite sure which.
What did you want me to find on the screen? I forgot.
To see if there's any research been done onto the Balfouras in the wild. Have they actually been seen in the wild once and for all? Because people say, somebody went over, or a taxonomist has been over, and yeah, they've seen it. And then you know,
I haven't heard nothing.
It's great that Richard's done a care guide on his website, but unless there's evidence to say yes, this person here has done a paper on the fact that they do live communally in the wild, then they don't until that paper's out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't heard nothing at all about that. I know a couple people wanted to do that, but I haven't heard anybody doing it.
Well, so even that, mate, like we were talking about pokey communals, then even if that's the case, then keeping any tarantula communally should be a little bit weird.
True.
Hey, Jacob.
I do think pokey communals are just really strange. But
I don't know. I mean, Tom over in America, he's done it successfully.
Tom Moran.
Yeah.
Cool. What
Tom Moran,
communal? No, what communal?
Pokey.
Oh yeah, a lot of people have.
But again,
Apparently, all you need to do is just keep them cramped. Otherwise, they start doing territory.
yeah, keep it overstocked.
Is that not
So-
weird though? Like,
If you keep it overstocked, right? So if you put a single spider in those same conditions, this much room to move, somebody will message and go, "Why is that? Why have you kept that Pokey in such a small enclosure?" But if you put it into a communal, suddenly it's all right. Because you're effectively putting them in an even smaller enclosure than what you normally would do something like an arboreal. Because mind you, what I have found is the Metallicas, the two that I've got, do not move nowhere near as much of what the Fasciata does. The Fasciata's always out, always walking around, literally like Queen Pokey of the enclosure.
I think that actually is dependent on the individual, like, because I've got a few pokies, and they're all very different, and a few of the same species, and they're still different.
That's what you do need to be able to really study a one particular species. You do need several of them, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's characteristics from one OBT to the next. I'd say it's probably more dominant for what I've seen anyway with Simulpaeus.
What do you mean, Anton? You mean it's strange that I say it's strange to keep them together? Well, the reason why I'm saying that is if it's not been observed in the wild, then why would we want to try and force something on an animal that's not been observed in the wild? I feel like, well, from my perspective, my keeping, I'm trying to simulate how their habitats are in the wild with all my enclosures. You're not trying to make something that's totally abnormal. So I'd want to, if an animal has not been observed living communally in the wild, then why would I want to force it to live communally in captivity? That's my opinion. That's why I'd say it's strange. If that was me, Anton, if you're saying so, if no one's ever seen it, how can it be strange for any?
Yeah, that is true. He's got the caps lock on again. But you're saying it's not been seen in the wild for Balf. How is that not weird?
I don't know what you're saying. I'm saying it is weird. I'm saying, firstly, it's weird that it's not been seen in the wild, that everyone does it in the hobby. And I do it, I have it. But I'm still saying it's strange.
Hey, Greg.
Again, we don't know a lot of things about what's happening in the wild because
Exactly.
most of the tarantulas are hidden.
Exactly. And the fact of the matter is,
we should know now. I mean, it's only a case of like a taxonomist or like Martin Lees and his crew to go out to an area with literally GoPros and just put them overnight next to burrows.
Even then, you won't know what's happening in different places. It's going to be pretty impossible to cover the whole area and to see what's happening in the whole area. Maybe there's one corner where they live communally, but nowhere else.
the thing is, there's just not the money for it in tarantulas. Like, people, there's more money in snakes than there is tarantulas. People just don't want to study them because they're not easy to study, and they're not cute and fluffy. So what I'm saying, Anton, is if we don't observe something in the wild, then it's strange that we would attempt it in captivity. Like, we as keepers, we should all be trying to simulate their natural environment, that like their natural habitat is, so we can keep them at the most optimal conditions. So keeping an animal that's not observed communally in the wild is very strange, which, in fairness, is strange for Balfouri if we haven't observed it in the wild. But then again, it seems to work, doesn't it? I mean, but I have also heard of Pocotheria and Histrocrates gigas trying to be kept communally and it not working at all. But I have heard far less stories of Balfouri in that case.
There's not a H. Gigas communal that I've heard of actually being successful from start to finish.
I haven't done much research on it. I won't personally do it. So,
just going back to what you're saying about, and what Chris was saying, that we can't cover a big enough area and watch it for 24 hours a day for with spiders, it's going to have to be for months because they could be in the burrow for months, which leads me to think or speculate anyway that when a lot of the taxonomists go out there and they collect some specimens, bring them back, study them, all the rest of it, or even when like Martin goes out and they'll tickle a tarantula out of the burrow. So if you tickle a H. gigas out of the burrow, how do you know that there's not 2 or 3 others that are also down in that burrow?
Yep.
Without having some scanning equipment, we're never going to know.
Well, I mean, you could put a camera down there, couldn't you? You could put like a probe camera down there.
Yeah, but the thing with the probes is unless that burrow is solid, you're not going to be able to get it round. It's going to go into the soil, isn't it? Yeah, Bush says down to climate, temps, humidities, locations. Osman says, me personally think it doesn't really matter for captive bred. They've never seen wild environment. Wild caught might be different story for a captive bred. I think setups don't really matter.
Well, that depends what you're meaning by that, Osman. I think if you're saying like I can keep my Ceratogyros sanderi in an arboreal rainforest enclosure because it's captive bred, so it doesn't matter. Obviously, that's not the case. What I'm saying is, if I'm keeping my Ceratogyros, I want to give it space to burrow. I want to give it a more arid environment. So, despite it being captive bred, I'm not going to keep it humid and arboreal.
No, because moisture-dependent species is still a moisture-dependent species. Oh no! Read the second part.
Oh, okay.
As long as it's right type for fossorial, boreal, or terrestrial.
But then also you're also taking into account.
He's got a point. He has got a point. So I'm going to expand on Osman really, and just go. If we've got a bucket of soil, and we put
I 100% agree with you. Sorry, maybe we misunderstood that.
A fossorial species in it, obviously put the water dish on top, keep it whatever humidity it's supposed to be at, it's going to be fine. And a boreal, if we keep it on 4 inches of substrate and put a piece of round cork bark in it, where's it going to be? It's going to go inside the cork bark. It's going to sit in there, and it's not going to care if you've planted every plant from where they actually live in the wild in that enclosure or not. It could be an ivy, or it could even be a UK native species of plant that's with it. Is it going to be that bothered as long as that plant's not harmful to the spider?
No, I 100% agree there. Yeah, absolutely. You're totally.
Or like Osman goes on to say, like real plants, or trying to, copy the wild environment they actually live in.
Sure. So for me, what I'm saying by that is I'm in my planted enclosures. Hey Jacob, what's up? We're in a this is a good debate. This is a good
yeah, you joined in the middle of one.
So in my planted enclosures, none of the plants to my knowledge are from India or from wherever the animals come from. But what I'm saying is I'm trying to imitate it in terms of it being arboreal, it being humid.
Hey Luke.
What's up, Luke?
I've been watching Metallica Malt, says Ian. Great times. I mean, a lot of us like do a bit of content, Ian, and would probably set up a camera. But if you can set up your phone over it, you can zoom in and see a lot more detail what's going on as it happens. You don't have to record it if you don't want to. But if you do get your camera up, you can zoom right in. If Luke's not chucking a load of food at spiders this evening, it'd be great to hear his point of view on this as well.
Yeah, so Anton, Anton, you were saying, but surely, because I thought you were saying to me that you can just keep any spider communally, but it seems like you're not saying that at all. You're saying surely it's better to just keep the animals singular because otherwise we're just doing it for our entertainment or scientific reasons. But I would say maybe 99% of the people in this chat are never going to be doing it for scientific reasons, so they're just doing it for their entertainment. In which case, I'd 100% agree with you. I think
you'd probably be surprised who actually does watch. To be honest, so maybe some of them are studying zoology or something and go on to do it, and then we'll go, Scott, Charlie, Chris, Jacob, remember that discussion you had? Well, I've been there. You never know, do you?
On about
No.
Alice, I've got a little communal of 5.
They're still small, aren't
Yeah, but you've got
See,
the one main
got-
dominant one in there who's the bigger one, and it will always be the bigger one. So you get better feeders in a communal and smaller ones.
they? How much bigger is the bigger one?
Not a lot. 1 molt.
Because I wouldn't have thought that. I wouldn't have thought that one spider will be the biggest all the time.
Yeah.
They say they say you get one big female because the female munches everything else.
At the moment,
Yeah, like Chris and Charlie just said, male. Luke said, I think it would be fair to assume Balfouri will live communally with the female for a minimum of a few molts in the wild after observing the female's behaviour with the spiderlings in captivity. I suppose and when you think about it, Luke's got more experience than all of us observing the slings with the females.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, Steve W.
Yeah, Osman, to talk about the point you said, yeah, I agree with that. You do have the basics right for each type of spider. I think it doesn't really matter how it looks. Yeah, I 100% agree. My plant enclosures, they're more for me than the spider in most cases, right? Like, I haven't had to maintain them at all though, so maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Like even the food that gets dropped gets eaten by springtails or somewhat broken down. I still spot clean it, but I hardly maintain them. But then also you could say that the cover that it provides for the tarantulas could certainly, like my pokies are out quite a lot now, especially as the plants have grown a lot more. I've certainly noticed them being out a lot more. So that could potentially lead to less stress or whatever. But then also that could be the fact that they've grown more, so they're less vulnerable to predators because they're larger. So it could be a number of things. But yeah, for the most part, I would agree that an arboreal humid tarantula should be kept arboreal and humid, and then arid fossorial should be kept arid and fossorial, whether it's in a box, whether it's in a big setup, whatever. I think that's the point you're saying.
What do you think about Avicularia communals?
I think any communal other than Balfouri is more for the person keeping them than the animal itself.
Because I know someone's went over to where they are, and they went into a tree, and they found 2 or 3 avicularias in the same tree together.
Yeah, but the reason the whole pokey communal came about is because apparently the area where the regalises got flooded, so all the pokies moved out of the tree and moved up, so they're on the same branch. Doesn't mean they're communal. With avics like to build a web nest. So in the huts that they've got in the forest, you'll come across like an avic living in one corner, and then in the other side of the corner there'll be another avic. But what you've got to remember is, for us, a distance of 3 or 4 meters is absolutely nothing. To a spider, that could be literally like me going from here to Scotland, or for me going from here to Wales.
So same goes for house spiders. You can find them really close, but they don't live communally.
Exactly.
I think the main point.
Widows, definitely, yeah.
Sorry, say again, Scott?
I said false widows, most definitely, but the sense of distance is going to be different for a spider than what it is for us. So what we assume to be living close, if a spider could come on the stream now, might turn around and say, no, that you've got no idea. That is miles away.
I think a point would be, right, as a keeper, ask yourself, why are you keeping that tarantula communally? Are you keeping it because it succeeds better? Or or we observe it being more successful? Or are you keeping it communally because you want to see a load of spiders together? If it's the second answer, then really that's probably not what you should be doing. You should be looking at, in the hobby, does the Balfouri have a high success rate living communally? Yes, it does. Have we observed pokies being not so successful communally? Well, I've certainly heard of a lot of examples of them not being so successful. So are we keeping it because we want to see it communally, or are we keeping it because it's successful?
Greg says, but that tree could be 50 feet tall, and like Charlie said, apart from Balfouri, and I think it's only one true spider, there are no real communal tarantulas, and even Balfouri, we've got no absolute proof.
Well, spot on. I 100% agree with Greg there. That's exactly.
Sorry if I'm a couple of minutes behind with the comments. It takes a little bit longer for comments to come through when you're watching it on StreamYard.
Yeah,
Steve W, they're also not confined to the same area, can get away from each other in the wild. I wonder if in the wild, when they live in what we would think is close proximity, I wonder if those two spiders, let's say, go back to Jacob's Avics. Let's say you've got an Avic living in a mud hut here and one in the corner. I wonder if that's possibly male, female, and the female's happy to keep him there because she knows in another molt or two he'll become mature. Because every time you see photographs of them together or anything like that, or somebody says, "Yeah, I've seen them," it's always, "Oh yeah, there's one there and one there." They've never really expanded on that. I'd be really interested to see if when they live a little bit closer than normal, if one's actually female and one's male, and they tolerate each other until sexual maturity. Luke says, one more note. Pamphobetes species Arinia polytart juveniles have been observed and pictured in the wild, living with the female at juvenile stage. What Luke was saying earlier was that the spiderlings, they're like live prey. So you feed the mother comes out, takes it, kills it, takes it back to the babies. Mm-hmm. Now, I remember Luke getting overly excited. It was like a little kid at Christmas when I took him these Psalmopaeus Amernia slings out when I found them. And I thought the female hadn't had them. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I found the slings in the enclosure with the female, and they were really super, super healthy. I didn't know the egg sac were there, and I just kept on feeding and carrying on and all the rest of it. And the sling, they're on his site now, actually. The slings are absolutely stunning. So yeah, I think that with the female killing the prey and taking it back to the babies, it is a definite. But I should also then imagine that maybe when with different species, the size or the maturity of each sling is going to be different when they leave the mother as well. So that kind of information, I mean, how on earth is anybody going to go and get it? Because if you do it at home and go, oh yeah, well, you know, the female was there and the baby's moved out, and anybody and everybody's going to go, yeah, but that's captive breed and it's not in the wilds. How we're going to discover anything like that? We'll never know.
Greg, you said you've got false widows free living in your window area. The web is about 5 to 6 feet wide, etc. In animals in general, it's frequently observed in a lot of animals that, especially animals that are prey animals,
hey, nameless.
Living near another one, it gives you a 1 in 3 chance of you being predated upon. So if there's 3 of, it's like a school of fish, for example. Fish school, because they're prey animals, and it helps them when there's a lot more of them and only a percentage of them gets picked off. It could be the same in inverts. We don't really know, do we? Because they're not.
With fish, they'll school together to make themselves look like one big fish, or to confuse a predator. They move a lot quicker than what inverts do as well. A lot faster. So I couldn't see 3 spiders living on a window together be anything to do with predators as much. It's probably, I'm kind of thinking that might be the most ideal situation. And one's created a web, and then as another one a little bit further along's created their web, they've literally, gone crawling along, found the other web and gone, well, I can anchor to this, and just anchored off it.
Well, there's just a lot of flies there. They're successful.
Well, yeah, that's just a successful area. Luke says, I've only ever witnessed this behaviour with Balfouri over a prolonged amount of time. Slings stay with the female where all the other species disperse. I wonder if that's where the whole idea of let's keep Balfouri's communal actually come from in the first place, because many moons ago, when people first started doing the breeding, maybe they saw the Balfouri and saw the female and the slings together for a longer time and thought, oh, I wonder. Hey, Ant Shorts. I'm inundated in this house with false widow. So it's got to the point where there's not loads, but I'll keep maybe like 2 or 3 in each room. And then if another one appears, I'll take it outside.
I think ultimately what communal stuff comes down to is, are you doing it for the animal or are you doing it for yourself?
That's my thought. Said Luke.
If you answer that simple question, you can get to the right answer.
For me, it's like, okay, so you want to keep a communal regalis. You want to keep them in cramped conditions. You want to keep a communal regalis, knowing that a lot of the time it fails, and the females munch the smaller ones and all the rest of it. That comes to the point where you are literally just doing it for yourself, unless you're a taxonomist or
and you're recording it thoroughly in depth, and you have multiple, and you're put them in different environments for science.
Not in the home setting, in a taxonomist setting. So unless you're somebody like Ray, then I don't think it's actually worth it, because it's all right saying, oh yeah, it's a lot of money if it goes wrong. It's like, well, that's a lot of spiders gone if it goes wrong. Let alone about the money.
Well, it's an endangered species now. A lot of pokies are endangered, right? And
I think it's safe to say that they all are, aren't they?
I think they are. I'm not sure. I know Metallica is.
Are they all, Luke? Are they all CITES now, pokers?
I think they are all CITES, but I don't know about endangered.
Going back to Greg's 3 spiders on the window, from what I've observed of them, I think the 2 together are mother and baby, and single one is possibly the male, but no proof. But they are really interesting to watch.
Okay.
They're false widows. They are sexually dimorphic.
P. regalis is least concern. Population decreasing. P. ornata.
The really sad thing is, though, I think 90% of the spiders that we keep, when you look on the CITES, are going to say of non-concern, but population decreasing.
Ornata are endangered. Metallica are critically endangered. Well, I mean, the thing is that at least we can say
2 small pockets of Metallica, and that's it. There's 2 small pockets of Metallica.
Yeah. I mean,
Andrew Smiths found the second one 100 miles away from the first.
I would love to say that at least we have so many in captivity now that we could, I mean, this is terrible really to say, but at least if we needed to, we could breed enough to then release, and hopefully we'd be able to keep them going.
You can't do that.
Why do you think you wouldn't be able to do that?
You can't breed, police the area in this country and take the babies back to...
I'm not saying you can do it, but if it came to it, people would do it to save the wild populations. I'm sure there's probably people already doing it. We were
chatting with Phil probably last year, and we were Googling and all sorts. And what it comes down to is, if you want to, I think it's different. Reintroducing a species, I think, is a lot different. But if you want to repopulate an area where there's already that species there, so let's say if you want to go to where Metallica are, and let's say there's 100 adults there, and you want to increase it by doing some captive breeding, so you're 100% success, boom, slings back out again. You have to go to the area where it is. You have to build a building that is biologically proof. So when you walk into that building, you're all cleaned and everything else. You put your suits on, everything, and then you go into your vacuum sealed room where your pokies would be for breeding. And if I remember right, even the feeders, you have to have a colony of feeders there. You can't then bring more in. But I do remember you have to have the actual breeding facility has to be in the same area as what the actual species is, and then the ones that you want to breed have to be taken locally, not brought in from UK or anywhere like that. Because we could be saying, well, I've got a female Metallica, Charlie's got a male. I'm just trying to think what the scientists might think. They could possibly think, well, because it's been bred in captivity in the UK, this could be like an F10, F12, F20, F30 from World Cup parents like 30 generations ago. The Metallica might have had a crossbreed at some point, or maybe there was a male that might have been crossbred, but is half Metallica, half something else, and then they put that in with the female, and then they've bred, but the babies look Metallica, but whereas in fact they actually carry DNA from a different species. I think that's maybe what the thinking is behind that. So then, therefore, if you can catch the wild caught ones from the area where you're doing it, you're pretty much guaranteed that they're going to be 100% Metallica.
Mm.
I don't have any communals. That doesn't work, certainly with mammals. Look at the situation of them trying to reintroduce cheetah to India and taking animals from Africa. Nearly every one of the released animals is dead. I know it's worked well with birds, but yeah, mammals, not so. I suppose that's again, though, if you don't release enough of the animal into the area, when it comes to mammals, then obviously you're going to have issues because, a couple aren't going to know as much or be prepared to explore as much. Whereas if you've got a group, they obviously can cover a lot more distance together and hunt together. That was certainly a deep one for the first hour on a Tuesday.
Indeed.
Charlie, those slings that I got from you, the Albiceps and the Pulchripes is doing well.
Fantastic, mate. I'm glad to hear it.
2 days after I got the Pulchripes,
It molted.
I put a split mealworm in there, and he started munching it within 2 minutes.
From that sack, I had about 90, and I think I maybe lost 5. And all of them either went to new homes, and I have about 30 behind me just there, and they all survived. I haven't had one sling die.
What's the average for them?
That 90 was a big sack. I think I've heard from 40 to 100. If Luke's still in chat, he'll be able to tell me. But it was certainly a big sack for the female.
Greg says the bird thing is interesting. We live in an area where they released red kites, and it's one of the best areas for them. And there are so many. They're even discussing culling. Yeah, because they released the red kite to your area, Greg, and then I think they also released them in Wales as well, didn't they? Re-released.
It's crazy they're considering culling them.
When you go down the M40, there's a farmer, and he feeds them. So he put dead cows out for them and stuff like that. So they're doing well. You'll see them down the M40.
Motorway, mate. I love the M40. The amount of birds of prey I saw on the way down on my motorbike.
You only love the M40 because you have a motorbike and there is no speed cameras on the M40.
Is there not? I didn't know that, but
you tell me whether there's a speed camera on the M40.
Maybe there's not. Yeah, I don't know. But no, I just loved it because the roads are fantastic. The views were great. The first time I went down on the M40 was to BTS. And
I like it. Do you know when the road goes literally through the hillside and then suddenly it goes down the dip.
Yeah. Fuck.
Mate, I slow down to about 50, ready for that dip, and then just.
Yeah, I thought it's wicked, mate. I love it.
Craig says we've got red kites here in Cornwall. They're talking about culling in an area due to them dive bombing people in public parks.
Oh, let it happen. Let it happen.
Lock the park and have it as a kite zone. That's my theory. Personally, I think we should call the people.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say.
You know, if we weren't humans and we were looking at what an invasive species had done to the environment, then we would call humans, wouldn't we? I think going forward, I think the governments have got to look on, without trying to get into a real horrible debate, but human productivity, put it that way, or how many more humans get produced.
Craig said moist o'clock.
It is moist o'clock, so it is 9 p.m. We'll have Jacob on for another half an hour, and then we'll do the swearing, I think. Because Jacob is only 11.
I'm not 11.
You are?
No, I'm 14. 2 years older.
10?
It's like, not this again. So what's next on your list, Jacob?
Me, I'm not really sure. I come up to a show and think, what do I want to get? And then I'll see what I can do when I get to the show well before.
I think want lists and shows are two, for me, are two separate entities, because if you take a list to a show and you don't get what's on your list, you come away disappointed. Whereas if you don't take a list, you come away with something absolutely bizarre, like a crab or a slug or maybe a spider that you've never even looked at, or a jumping spider, or one of Leah's roaches, or just something. Do you know what I mean? Something else.
Craig just asked a very, pardon me, controversial topic.
Who did? Sorry,
Craig.
Scott's favourite thing to bring up.
No. Who is your
Scott, how
favourite
do you
YouTuber?
like what was on top of the packing peanuts in the box?
yeah, more packing peanuts.
No, on top of the packing peanuts.
Yeah, more packing peanuts.
No, I put some very good sticker on top.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've got to send you that back.
Oh no.
What?
Because
No.
it's female.
How?
There's no hooks. There's no. Do you know where the pedipalps are?
Yeah.
They develop big grapes. Literally big grapes.
Yeah, but I seen hooks though.
That's just hair on the elbow. If you have a look,
What was
it's got it on all four front. Yeah.
What did you send him?
Davius Pentaloris.
Oh.
Gemma's been a 18 months on level 2. Wow. How has that been a year and a half? Wow. Thank you for that incredible support. That's just a year and a half. Craig says, many years ago when I was in my late teens, I was a falconer for about 10 years. Nice. Very nice.
Have you seen Bear's new name?
Hold on. Ben says, to be honest, the Gov ought to be called because they're the most dangerous. Oh, yeah. I ain't getting into that conversation either. Yeah, the House of 1,000 Inverts, which reminds me of a Rob Zombie album, which I think is probably where I got it from. The House of 1,000 Corpses. Hello, Mrs. Charlie.
Scott says hello.
You're punching above your weight there, Charlie.
Thank you, Scott.
To go on and bug you all or not? That is the question.
Do it, Leah.
Yeah, I've been chatting to Bear today actually.
I seen a post on a centipede and millipede group of someone getting rid of a centipede, and I sent it to Bear, the link. So because I know he likes centipedes. So
And he needs to get 1,000 inverts.
Where? Yeah, he needs to get 1,000 inverts. Where was the link for me? I've kept centipedes for like almost 5 years.
Bristol, I think it's only pick up. I can remember this person saying it's only pick up.
Can you remember what centipede it was?
No, I don't think they might have put. I'll have a look for you.
Just out of curiosity, do like centipedes, absolute apex predators.
I do not like the centipedes, so my dad won't allow me to get one.
And I get so annoyed when you see like a Dahani or something in a setup and there's no water dish. Do you know the little deli cups that are like this big? I watched my Dahani literally drain it halfway down.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I watched. I was just like,
That's
well, when it actually came to me, its head was shrunken, and I was like, wow, you are dehydrated to death. And it did drink so much.
Look at that.
Orange leg, yeah, Scolopendria. Hate to say it, but that's not enough substrate.
Well, that's not me.
Ian, we can't. I don't think we can keep Heros. I think Heros are DWA, unfortunately. They're even incredible when they're up against that species Borneo blue that I've got. My word, that disappeared into the substrate, and at night, every now and again, you can catch it making a new tunnel. And it's literally like the tunnel just opens up for it. It just goes, and
Scott,
there's the
this
tunnel.
person's asking for £50 with an escape-proof glass enclosure.
Yeah, a custom Quaria enclosure, double-lidded. Yeah, I've got one of those with the Metatundra and the Solomon Island centipede. It's thicker wire on the back for the air vent as well, and it's double meshed. And then you've got a glass lid on top, which you just take off, and then the next lid's on an angle, and it slides into the actual enclosure itself. The idea being, you take the lid off, put your food in, close your lid, slide that lid out, and then the food drops down in there, and then you close it again. Oh, night, Greg. Centipedes are scary. No, they're not. The centipedes are absolutely gorgeous.
When I was working in the jungle in Thailand, I was surveying this road with we were on a motorbike and I had a girl on the back, and we saw this centipede coming across the road. We pulled up next to it, and it stopped moving. So I tapped it with my foot, and it climbed halfway up my leg. Mate, oh, shat! I screamed like a girl. Screamed like a girl.
Chris, how's that?
I can believe that.
Yeah, mate.
I would have, yeah. I would have gone.
You know how quick they can be.
Yeah, stupidly quick, stupidly fast,
Yeah.
and so flexible.
What did you ask?
How's the Regalis doing?
I did message you. I put them together. The male wasn't interested, so I'm gonna try again in a few days.
If you can you try and video it for me?
I'm always videoing him.
Okay, thanks. Because I'd like to see how it goes.
Is that a cup of tea that you've got there, Chris? Is that Yorkshire tea, Chris? What?
No.
What tea is it? What tea is it?
It doesn't matter.
It's nettle tea or something weird, isn't it? For your cold.
Peppermint.
Oh, the posh stuff. Peppermint tea.
I heard Jeremy call it.
I have to go try and catch a canary. Wish me luck. Oh, good luck. Hey, PJ.
I can't say what I want yet.
Why?
You know why?
Because it's not swear o'clock time.
Link if somebody wants to pop on.
I had a baby escape a week later. It came back by climbing up my leg. 24-hour CCTV in Chris's house, and at his work for when he's knocking over pallets with his forklift. Don't get him started, Steve. I didn't touch it. I was nowhere near it. The forklift truck went into this stack. Chris pulled a stack out, and the stack next to it fell over.
Yeah.
I haven't, PJ. If you want to pop up and show off your leaf cutters, dude, more than welcome.
So Scott, is Pentaloris definitely not mature?
If that was male, it'd definitely be a mature male now, but I think it's female.
Okay.
I don't.
Decent size.
Have a look
I
at
know,
the
yeah, it's the same size as my adult female,
Is it?
and the bum's massive.
Also, is it going into pre-molt?
I think so, yeah, because the bum's got.
Yeah, the bum was very shiny.
Yeah. I mean, I'll have another look after the stream if you want, double check, but I'm pretty sure. But I wouldn't worry about it. We all think things are mature when they're not, and you know.
Yeah.
And what you got to remember is you're still very, very, very young in your invert career.
Yeah.
So when
I've
you're
always got these mistakes to come.
exactly when you're my age, you'll have like 30 years keeping on top of me now.
I was sent a Jeep Ultra, mature male, and those hooks on that was just there.
Yeah, let me know when you're gonna send it back.
Yeah, no worries. Probably next week.
Okay.
Actually, would it be this week?
Next week I'm not gonna be here for the next 2 weeks.
Where are you going?
To my caravan, so
To your caravan?
yeah.
Where's your caravan?
Devon.
Chris has got a caravan.
I've got 2.
So actually, Scott, if you can, I'm in till Friday this week, so if you
If
want
it's
to
in a pre-mold, shouldn't you wait till it molds out just in case?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because don't forget, if you're gonna, it's not the best idea to.
Let me have another look at it a bit later on.
Okay.
I fed it the other day, but I've not really looked at it since.
What
So
did
let me
you take with you or not? Food?
Yeah, smashed a mealworm, Mario worm even.
Yeah, it's been refusing food for the past few weeks with me.
Yeah.
And I've been offering it W's. And Turks doesn't want anything. So
I sometimes find if a spider refuses food next time, try it with something different just in case.
Yeah. But when he gets back, I'll try a Mario.
Need a new mantis. The only problem is that they're only half the size in the Arizona that in New York. Ian says my brother lives in a caravan in Birmingham on my mate's drive. Nothing wrong with that. I've got friends that live on site.
Exactly.
Oh, ready when you are. Hey Claire, Arona Exotics, all those holographic stickers. Arona is the lady that you need to speak to. If you want a pack, the summer 2023 pack, speak to Arona. You can buy literally majority of YouTubers and sellers stickers all in one pack. It's flipping brilliant.
Scott,
Jacob,
I've signed up for the August one, but it didn't ask for my logo.
Okay. I think.
Does it come with an email or something at some point?
I think I just PM'd Claire on Facebook, but if you drop me your logo on Insta,
I'll contact you when the time comes when she starts making the pack.
Yeah.
Because I signed up on the Rune Exotic one.
If she
I'm pretty sure she can get your logo anyway.
If she can't find you on Facebook, she'll be able to take it off your Instagram or something like. And if not, she'll just message one of us anyway. So
Okay.
I wouldn't worry about it. Jacob, right? It is well past 9, so I'm going to ask if you'd kindly shoot off because you're under the age of 18, and I'm going to pull up PJ and his leaf cutters. That's all right, dude.
Okay.
And of course, Scott's Inverts is definitely better than the House of 1,000 Inverts. On Jacob.
Not at all.
And Claire says if you signed up for a pack, when she makes them, she'll pop you your message.
And Tron's Legs and Stings has put the link into chat where you can click on that and you can get all the stickers as well. She does like scorpion badges and all sorts as well. It's just go check her website out. It's awesome.
Okay, let me know if you're gonna send that Pentalorus, Scott.
Will do. I'll have a double check of it in a little while. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. Bye.
No worries.
Thank you
House of 1,000 Inverts, Scott.
When he sent it, I opened it up, and on top of the peanuts was a bear's 8-legged freak sticker.
It's got a sense of humour.
Fucking banker.
It's not time yet.
I choose the time.
Now it is. Now it's 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Bit of a mess going on here because I have a little plan. I've got a little plan because something else is going there instead of this. But I really want it to light up on the stream. And thinking about trying to get it to light up and not going poing and blinding everybody is going to be a bit of a pain.
That is a problem.
And I haven't actually got it yet either. But
diffuser in front.
That's not a bad idea. Just a piece of black plastic or something. Drop it down.
That'll work.
Yeah, that will work.
And it will still light everything up. Plus,
Yeah,
won't light people in the thingy.
PJ, drop the link down. Yeah, so it's past 9 o'clock. So we do have little swear word pops out as well as a bit of adult conversation and what have you. So just bear that in mind, especially if kids are watching. If any kids are watching, don't watch any further. Chris?
Hold on.
Chris? Oh, yeah.
Damn, that's cool. Look at the female, the fang flexing.
Yeah. He survived.
Man, this is great footage. Grandma stole apocryphy, is it?
Yeah.
What's that sticker on the back of your phone?
Oh.
Bugsy Bugs.
What's the one above that?
That one is my gift from a very good friend. That's my lashes.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Nameless Collector recently got my first. Oh man, we're not allowed to keep them in the UK, and I flipping love one. A Deathstalker Scorpion. Mate, I'm gonna say something now that's probably gonna annoy people, but Heterometris, I know I've studied them for about 2 years now, done a couple of videos on them and all the rest of it. I'm just finding them boring. I really am. The desert stuff is where it's at. You know, the American counterparts that are keeping all the DWA stuff. For me, that is just like, wow, absolutely wow. Stuff Tim's just got in is just amazing as well. But Heterometris is just getting a little bit. Oh, I've seen it before. Hey, PJ.
Sorry, that's better. I had my mic on mute.
That's all right. How's it going?
Yeah, good, mate. Yourself? How's everything?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
Mind you, out of the venomous stuff, the one that I'd have is the sand spider, if I could.
Hey, Andy. I've got 2 sand spiders.
Yeah, I know. I'm jealous.
They just they just take so long to grow, so long to molt. A lot what a lot of people do as well is put them in sand with stones and stuff like that, which is just how to kill a sand spider setup. You want them in almost dry, soft play sand. That is about the best. But then you also want some cork bark because they will come out of the sand to molt as well.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, no, I've been trying to see like when like Scuttle Dan's been getting, when they get collections when they buy them in. So sometimes you have someone who's got one in with the collection, but no, I've been waiting 2 years.
So, so many legs. Andy bred them a little while ago, a couple of years ago. So always worth keeping an eye on his site. And Bugs UK.
Yeah.
If they haven't got one, drop them an email.
Yeah, I'll say I dropped him every now and again. I drop him a message on Messenger on Facebook.
Well, expect to pay over the odds, though. That's the only thing. You pay like 50 quid for a sling.
Well, that's the thing. I missed out just before it getting all hiding away, and you couldn't get them. I missed out on a chance. I think it was about 35 quid, and that was about 2 years ago. So I missed out on a chance, and obviously ever since then, can't find them. Other if you have to import them from America, but then they're like $150.
Plus, you've got to fill out all the import stuff as well, which is to get the import stuff is free to do. It's not. It's no big secret. You can import for free. But I got my second one for 35 quid off literally a friend in Coventry. Yeah, which was an absolute godsend. But they're absolutely phenomenal. They don't eat nearly as often as what tarantulas do, I find. But when they do, it's spectacular.
Oh yeah, especially the way they just pounce, literally, and it's like, well, where did you come from?
When they play hide and seek, and the little legs are sticking out of the sand, it's just like you're there.
It's
but they also reckon there's something like, I think it's 35,000 species of sand spider, which we haven't even described. We don't even know. Well, science doesn't know they actually exist either, as well, because they just hide under the sand. So the amount of sand that's out there, which we haven't stepped foot on, is just immense. So the kind of science had an educated guess, and said,
they're so docile as well, aren't they? They're like literally, I've seen videos on YouTube which they've had like a stick and they're just gently poking it, and it's like, no, you can't see me, I'm invisible.
Anybody watching, do not poke a sand spider with a stick, just leave them be. But there's also there's contradictions out there about the venom toxicity levels on the sand spiders as well, and indeed which species is it that's going to actually do any danger to you. And they're also looking at the fact if they can actually bite you or not at the moment.
Yeah, but no one wants to stick that to the test.
Well, that's it. But if you could get, I don't know, maybe if you get ballistics gel or something like that, then you could certainly tell if they could penetrate skin with the use of that. Don't know.
Yeah.
Nameless has also got black African and Egyptian fat tails, mate.
Leaf cutters.
If I would like to keep any genus of tarantula, it would be Parabuthus for sure.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I said tarantula, didn't I? Scorpion. Parabuthus.
Stop pressing buttons.
I want big screen with us on the side with PJ in the middle.
Yes.
What?
Right. Just gotta go in the other room. I can't see my screen now, so right. So this is my Atta Mexicana leaf cutter setup.
Do you want me to fix the stream, Scott?
How do you mean?
Here you go. Stream is fixed.
So this is actually the main fungus of the original pod, what I had them in to start with. I haven't seen the queen for about 8 months. She's in here somewhere.
Do you store some fungus somewhere else just in case?
No. This is well, I at Antcon I bought 2 more pods, but they seem to use it as this one as food store. That one they've started building another fungus recently, but I've recently added a bit more. This is basically Rikushi's basically it's his prototype of his Gen 2 stuff, but this is actually a failed one because it had problems with warpage. So basically, he was going to throw it away. I said, no, don't throw it away. I can do something with it. So what I've actually done is I used TPU filament, and I've actually added the bits on the edge. So
I'll tell you straight. What Sid is doing over at Rikushi is just incredible when it comes to the enclosures.
Well, if you kind of look around, I'm not a Rikushi fanboy at all.
Oh my god! You've
But
probably spent more. I mean, the price is the only thing that puts me off. You spent more on those enclosures than what I have on spiders.
because I'll get quite a nice bit of discount because of the amount of money I've spent. With discount, I've probably spent 2,100 quid. So, and my new addition to the out leaf cutters is that baby there.
That's cool.
Almost as much as I spent on Exoterras.
Wow.
And that's actually 62 centimeters tall, this pod. And what they've started doing straight away within, I think it was 9 hours. So down there, they've actually started building the fungus.
Insane. Ants are incredible. They really are.
And then literally, they've actually started building the fungus. They started building the fungus actually in the tube as well.
So insane.
But I'd love a setup like that, man.
But literally, I've got it going from there all the way to here. And obviously, I have got it going into my other room, which is there.
Oh, what? That's insane.
So you can actually see them.
Can I see the other part again?
Which bit would you like?
Where it drops down on the right.
Oh, yeah, 1 second.
That's insane.
Seriously cool.
So these tubs are actually. Do you know the waxworm tubs you get?
Yeah. I've got them behind me.
Yeah, so what I've actually done is I've actually got model glue, cut the bottom out of the other one, but then under there is a tube. So basically I've barriered it up on the thing and the inside so they can't get out. But there you go, this one taking up a bit now.
Oh.
So cool. Okay, so it's just all leaves in there and stuff. So these have like antibiotics on their chest, right? That remove bad fungus that they don't want, right?
Basically, what it is, this is obviously what I've heard, and obviously I think it's when Rich was on with Scott before, and basically when the worker gets
Antantics,
yeah,
great guy.
So basically, I'll go back in the other room now. Got so much shit on the floor.
Yeah, but that's your shed as well, isn't it?
Yeah, my man cave and stuff like that. But basically, yeah, when a worker gets to the end of its lifespan, basically, because obviously it can't cut as much, basically workers actually get allocated to the trash. So you'll get the workers that are still good, and then basically take the rubbish so far, and then basically they have a trash workers, which is quite cool. But yeah, but literally since I've added like that the expansion in with the big 62 centimeter, they've started actually taking all the fungus out of the original pod itself, and obviously it's starting to come down in size now, and obviously they're starting to move into that big pod, which is really good.
So insane.
Can one of the moderators please put PJ Ants's link into the comments for anybody that wants to go and have a look and go check out it even more?
Do you write, PJ?
Yeah.
What do you ride?
Oh, what do I ride? I used to have a 18-plate Fireblade.
Oh, okay.
And then due to family commitments, I had to sell the bike because the wife wouldn't trade her car in for a bigger car.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Fireblade. Yeah.
yeah, I used to have Fireblade. Also, what was it BMW S1000 RR. I've had 3 Fireblades. So I've had 1 BMW. I've had
Was the
600
Fireblade
RRs.
was the Fireblade the Widowmaker, or was that the CBR?
The Widowmaker was actually the R1, the
Yeah.
Gen 1.
No.
Actually,
It was before the R1.
yeah,
The R1's the Widowmaker.
yeah, the Gen 1,
No.
literally. That's why they're so expensive to buy now, because they're so rare.
Yeah. You slow us, man.
Yeah.
You're already in there. Yeah, because what was it before the Hayabusa? The fastest bike in the world. What was it before the Hayabusa?
Oh, those. So you had the Blackbird.
Ninja?
That was it. The Blackbird.
Yeah.
Because the Hayabusa is a Japanese bird of prey that eats blackbirds. And that's why they're called the Hayabusa.
And originally, what
Night,
they was
Steve.
actually going to do, what
Night, Steve.
they was actually going to do, instead of just calling it Blackbird, they was actually going to, each Blackbird they was going to name it by the colour, but then they just kept it to the Blackbird for some reason.
The Blackbird as well. It was a longer bike as well, wasn't it?
Very much so, yeah. Quite an impressive. So I've never had a go on one, but they literally are quite impressive to ride. Obviously,
I've been on the back of one.
for what they are now. But yeah, I'll keep looking at bikes, but I've got to get a bigger car before I even get another bike.
I'd love another. Well, it was a Thundercat 600, which is basically the R6. I'd have another one of those.
But mind you, the gearboxes of them weren't particularly brilliant because they used to explode, didn't they?
Yeah, the gearboxes were shot there.
Yeah, and they used to melt, didn't they?
I'd have an old school Bandit 600 again, naked.
Oh, the old steel frame.
Mine was on an M plate, and it was the typical red as well. And my God, I missed that bike.
But they were like brand new, weren't they? They was like £3,600 brand new back in the day.
I think I paid 600 quid for it.
And that's kind of what they are now, aren't they? Between £600
Craig is
and
also
£1,000.
just sub to you. Ian's just sub to you as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Amy.
But yeah,
Amy,
literally.
scroll back up.
Hey,
Drop
Amy.
me a quick sub.
Yeah, literally, my latest video on my channel is obviously about my leaf cutters and what I've recently just done as well. But obviously, I've got to do this week's video because it's coming up for a year for my channel. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway on my channel.
Oh, when's that coming out?
Oh, literally, my anniversary is on the 23rd, so I'll stick the video up Friday. Probably a tour of my aunts for what's going on, and then do a giveaway. So I'm probably going to do £25 Rikushi voucher and a £25 and Antics voucher. Obviously self-funded, because I wouldn't ask
So
the guys for.
Basically, starter ants and the starter kit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Happy days. Happy days.
So I'm going to be doing that, and obviously there's going to be some runner-up things as
Aaron
well.
Craig subbed as well.
Yeah, so just stay tuned for that.
Ian's
obviously, if anyone's lucky, yeah. So basically, if anyone's lucky, they might win both the vouchers, but obviously it'll be 2 separate vouchers, sort of thing. So, but it's literally like it's knowing where to start with them, because obviously certain ants needs definitely certain needs, and it can be quite disheartening, especially if you don't get it right the first time. Like the native ants, I cannot do nothing with them. They always die.
I just see no point at all in keeping them.
It's so funny you say that.
Tron's just showing a bit of love as well. Tron's just subscribed to you. Going back to the Scorpions, Tron's got some real nice DWA stuff he has.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. When it comes to like the Niger, it's just like I had one. You might know I had one in a mystery box, and I was a bit like.
Yeah, that's going back to the wild.
For those who
Amy's just subbed to you as well. Thank you guys and Craig. Really appreciate it.
Subscribe to his channel. Make sure you open up any of his videos and watch it for 30 seconds. Otherwise, YouTube will think you're a bot and will remove you.
That do.
They do it every 24 hours.
Oh,
So,
do they? Wow.
yeah, because
Nameless is in the US, Widowmaker is a rifle. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of going to insult everybody that collects the queens and then sells them. But when it comes to Niger, where I am in a built-up area, I'm in a city. They're everywhere, and I mean everywhere. It's like when the neutral flight happens, my street is covered, let alone the canal and the parks and everywhere else. So to get one in a mystery box, I was just a bit like, really? What the? And then, but then there's a lad up the road that kind of he gets a lot of my stuff. A lot of stuff that comes on the channel you never see again normally goes down to him, and he's been trying to find a queen for ages, and he's just not. He's either been at school or he's been inside when the flights have happened, and you know. My wife was like, "Shall I take him?" I was like, "Yeah, definitely. Taking it down. Take this Komodo down with you and this barrier, and just let him get on with it." You know.
Yeah. I watched that last video of obviously when you got the mystery box, and it's like a bit more detail could have been.
Yeah. So
do you know what I mean? Like
the
lig. Okay, unless you're actually in the actual hobby itself, then you're gonna know what it is. But if you're just starting off, you ain't gonna have a clue.
The nest itself, there it is, very very simple to put together. But this door, no lock on it or nothing. Look.
AliExpress special that is, mate.
That just flips open. And you think literally, if you could keep it that way. So it used gravity, happy days, but it don't. So, and it's a bit frustrating because the test tube's off the ground for trying to get
Have you got any of the Venuses or anything like that? Any of Rikushi stuff?
No.
Well, I can't remember. No, I don't. What I'll do is I'll buy a Venus for you. And then obviously we'll swap addresses to you, and then I'll basically get Sid to send straight one to you, and I'll buy one. Literally, they're spot on. Have you seen the Venuses?
No.
One second. 1 second.
I'm on their website now. Yeah, they look cool.
We're gonna have to spend with the spider, aren't we?
Wow, yeah, Venus.
Anton's just subbed. Claire's just subbed. But then the Ligi or the Liggy, I can't remember the full. I haven't got it written down now. Is kept in just this.
Yeah.
So
basically,
this.
Look at that bad boy.
Do you know what? Do you know what's crazy? Right, seeing this nest makes me want to get another ant colony.
Oh, do it! Oh, if you use PJ Ants, you get 10% off on Rikushi stuff.
Ooh. I might get. I've always wanted to keep Mesa Barbarous, honestly, because I like the Wait, before you say it, let me.
Yeah, everyone at Exotics just subscribed to you as well. So's Anton.
Nice. Cheers, guys.
Everybody in the chat that's doing that, thank you so
I really
much.
appreciate that.
Is the word
I will only subscribe if you will call Scott a fake beard wanker.
Oh, I was gonna. It was quite funny because I thought, what was it they call him? And literally, I was gonna say it, and I thought I can't fucking remember what it was. But yes, he's a big fat wanker.
You just earned yourself another sub.
Basically, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it because of the reflection.
PJ, what's temperature in your shed?
At the moment, 26.
Have you got any spiders?
No. I've got a couple of huntsmen running around somewhere.
Would I be able to send you a beginner spider then?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely, especially if you're into that.
Is it called polymorphic, where you get different sizes of ant workers, right?
You can. That is in my Nikos, which
for example.
Mesa Barbaras, yeah, because you get like the super majors, and they can be actually bigger than the actual queen.
Right.
Just going back to that mystery box. So we had shorter names on the actual ant species as well, which annoyed me. I think I made that clear. What Thomas has done though, he sent me a message and a picture message. He's printing out the full names and putting them on each test tube. And now he's also including a little note in the boxes to say that all the information that you need is actually on his website.
Yeah, no good for you if you want it there and then.
Yeah. Mr. Spock says hello, Scott and everyone. Also sub, thank you.
Hello, thank you.
I would love to keep Formica sanguina. I've seen them in the wild as well in England. Formica sanguina,
Wow.
they're fucking awesome.
Oh, Tron wants a Ninja or a ZX14. Or H2, yeah. Oh, yeah.
H2,
Welsh
Well,
Grant is also
Damn.
sub.
Nice, thanks guys. Much appreciated.
I'm in slight disagreement with someone, so I wonder what people think. Do jumping spiders like to interact with people? I think they enjoy different platforms to which to jump to. So if you put your hand out, they see it and go, that's a platform to jump to. And I think it starts and ends about there. Although Claire is in chat and she has got a lot more experience on jumping spiders than I have. I've only kept like one, and then Tara's got one at the moment as well. But I don't. I'll just let her use her. That's her spider. Do you know what I mean?
I would certainly agree with you, Scott. There, I wouldn't say that any invert would have the capacity to seek out and enjoy company of.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute, I've actually
Hey,
got your
Darryl.
address, Scott, ain't I? Because I sent you them gifts a while ago, didn't I? So I've actually got your address.
The water feeders.
Yeah, that's it. I've got your address, so I don't need to ask for it again. So what I'll do is I'll order that now for you.
So,
No, Anton, you cannot breed ants in captivity.
so with having the Nikos, the queen wants a lot of protein for egg building, don't she?
Nico's not for they don't have bread. It's that's the messes. They make ant bread and stuff like that.
No,
But
protein.
yeah, protein. Yeah. When I first started mine off,
Is that coming from seeds or is that coming from feeders?
Nico's. I don't feed mine seeds because they're not a harvester ant.
Yeah.
But basically, the mess of Barbaras, yeah, they would because they're a form of harvester ant, so they would actually make ant bread, like you're saying, and that's where they get their protein from. But Nico's are basically sugar water or pure protein. I feed mine steak.
Just so with the queen that I've got and the one worker.
Yep.
Just sugar water for now, or
no? Give her a little bit of, especially if it's Nico. I basically give mine when they're starting off wax worms and stuff like that. Cut them up a little bit so they can get the nice juices from them. All mealworms and stuff like that.
So, Anton, in ants, I'm sure PJ will be able to correct me where I'm wrong because I
might
don't
be able to.
Yeah. Basically, ants have something called a nuptial flight, which generally happens once a year, to my understanding.
That's correct.
And all ants, queens, produce only female workers. So all ants that you see in the wild are female, and once per year they'll start producing males, which are known as elates.
That's
And
correct.
generally, after a rain or when the certain humidity and temperatures fluctuate or hit perfect, all ants will then release their elates, males and females, and they'll fly.
Yeah.
The males will breed with the females, and they'll keep their sperm in a spermatheca for up to 20 plus years, however long the female will live. And then that female will find a nest, and they'll produce more female workers, and that's how a nest is founded.
That's right.
There are
all
in
from
some
the
cases,
one male.
all from the one male sperm.
And then the male dies not long after.
Exactly. So males are pretty useless. So that's why breeding ants in captivity is not possible in terms of founding other colonies. I think there are some colonies that can have multiple queens and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
like
don't know if
the
that's
tetras. With my tetras, I would show it on camera, but I won't be able to show it on camera because they're so small. Basically, they are an interbreeding ants. And if any of you subscribe to Antimatters, he's got a huge, and I mean it's humongous tetras. Connolly, and literally he's got it in a big, massive fish tank, and it's obviously cut out like the breeze blocks and stuff like that. But that one must have 100,000 in it at least. It's very impressive, and like some of the like the Campo species, Campanitos species, I've noticed with my irritants, they've just hatched a load, and they've actually got elates in it. But obviously, I've got other irritant colonies, but to get them to have like for them to produce a queen, you've got to have the right conditions, the right air pressure. It's hard to simulate it in captivity. Yeah, but they produce males, but the males ain't no good. They're just they such like trying to shag all the other little workers. It's like because they're horny little fuckers.
Yeah, Anton, you're welcome. I took a really big interest in ants a few years ago. I've never really kept any. I kept Lacus niger. Maybe before I had tarantulas, maybe 6 years ago, I kept Lacus niger, and I managed to get in a few workers and stuff. And then as soon as you have to cool them right down during winter, and then I sort of lost them because that's too much. I can't.
Saying that though, if you look at Ants England's channel, she's got a massive Naga, Connolly. She don't hibernate.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't hibernate because they're too big. The Connolly is so big. But
just for anybody that's doing YouTube, if you do keep Lacus niger, make sure you pronounce it Niger, because the alternative will get you demonetized.
Yeah, it
will Karen.
Fuck you up.
It's, to be honest, that the name it's got needs changing, and it should have been changed 30, 40 years ago. Well, it shouldn't have never been named it in the first place, but it's 2023. It's time. Our taxonomist went, we're going to change the species name to something a bit more appropriate.
Yeah.
It's I still find it shocking. It's just like, how is it still there?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's how they couldn't get away with still calling it what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where's the...
Yeah, exactly that one too, Osman. I'm not going to pronounce that one. Nigerium, I think it is actually.
Yeah, well, that's like the thing is like
there's name changes need to happen ASAP. It's like I just said, it's 2023. You know, not that it was an excuse 20, 30, 40 years ago either. You know, but you would have thought by now enough people would have gone forward and said, "We need to change this."
Politically correct.
Well, it's not correct to the people it offends at all, is it? You know what I mean?
Scott, Niger is Latin for black, so is that not just since we use Latin names before scientific names? Surely it's not.
Yeah, that is also the case. But if you mispronounce it, which happens a lot,
right? But
that's where the issue is. And it's not one you could just, mispronounce and get away with it, kind of thing. And it's just too much. There's too much there, really, for me, or for anybody else, just to slip out the wrong word or the wrong pronunciation, or even in fact, somebody could slip out the wrong pronunciation as a point if somebody else is in the room. Do you know what I mean? As an offensive, being an undercover offensive way of doing it, if you like.
Right, I'm going to be shooting.
Where are you shooting, Chris?
If I tell you, you'll want it as well.
Are you going for food?
Yes.
Have you got that barbecue on the go out the back?
No.
I bet you. No,
yeah. It's too dark.
I think I am also going to shoot as well because I have quite a lot to do in my spider room.
Night, everyone.
No,
yes,
Chris.
I'm gonna shoot as well, guys. Thank you very much.
Bye, Charlie.
Good night, guys.
Cheers, Charlie.
Good night,
Chris.
Yeah, nice talking to you guys.
Scott, before I go, fuck you.
I'll put the link in case anybody else wants to come and join.
Yeah, so I'm going to send you that Venus, bud. I'm going to order a Venus for you. And then something a bit better to put them in. And you got the outweld all in one, so you got the test tube and the outweld, especially if the larger test tube as well. You can just slot it straight in. So.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Coventry, there you are. Just gotta make sure. Station Road. That's it.
Majorly appreciated as well. Like I said, we'll sort you out with a.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll ping you across my address. Yeah. Alternative payment. Good old PayPal, gotta love it.
Thomas, I'm not, no. There was an arrangement, but I can't do it now, unfortunately. My phone is not staying where it's supposed to.
Not playing, no?
No, it's not playing ball. I'll blame the wife because she just messaged me.
Is she?
And it's just like, is that not? It's not important. Well, it is. It is important, but it could have waited. Yeah. Unfortunately, Thomas, I can't because it's just, money. What have you really? It's just the wrong time of the month. If it was at the end of the month, or if it was next weekend, it'd be all right. But I can't because it's this weekend, basically.
It's one of them savage weekends, yeah.
Well, it's just like this Sunday, and it's an invert show up in Scotland, and it's just like normally at the end of the month after paydays and stuff like that. So it's very, very much.
Mind you, Bristol was quite busy though, wasn't it? Bloody hell.
Bristol was insane.
Mate, I didn't know my ass from my elbow from helping Rich out an Antantic store. Literally, like, because I was there picking up my pod, like my new pod for my leaf cutters, and it was like, then Rich said, "Is any of the concierge lot want to give me a hand?" So I went, "Yeah, fuck it, why not?"
When was that? Was that like a little bit later on or something? Because when I first got there, I think it was Richard, Sadie, and England.
Yeah,
and I think there was another lad, and then I think Sid was by himself at the time.
Yeah, you had Sid and Jack, which obviously Jack got a lift up with him, and then obviously I went up. I think I arrived about 10 o'clock, so it was about an hour before.
Good luck, Thomas, on that driving test tomorrow. You passed, dude. Yeah. As you know, I mean, I got there a bit earlier because I was helping Bugnut, so I went straight into the other room, and then that was it.
And then,
I got out a couple of times to do a little bit of filming, but they had a couple of thefts, so it was.
Oh, really?
It was, yeah. So we really needed to be on it.
Jesus, that's bad though, and you wouldn't think of something like that, would you? That's terrible. There's thefts.
Oh yeah, I think it was only 2 HMAX from what I remember, but in order to kind of be confident with that stand, we had to have one at one end, looking down the whole lot.
Yeah,
you know,
because I know what we did with Rich. He had all his stock under the table, and obviously he had his display pieces as well. And then obviously when people wanted them and stuff like that, but literally it was literally non-stop. So, and it was generally the same spiel afterwards. So, I'm new to antkeeping. What would you suggest? And then the question is, well, do you want something that's going to go fast and exciting, or do you want something that's going to get there eventually, sort of thing? And then they say, well, no, well, we want something a bit more exciting that's going to grow. Oh, then we suggest an Ecos. And obviously you've got your more expensive stuff.
Nicos take a long time to start, though, don't they? Like, what is it, 6 weeks for the queen to get her first workers, and then she lays again, and then don't they come is it every 6 weeks they get an explosion?
28-day turnaround from egg
4
from
weeks, is it?
yeah, literally 4 weeks. It's literally, and then once they get to, I think it's over 100 workers, then obviously there's a big turnaround sort of thing, and then it goes up in stages, and it's like I think within the first year of my Nicos, because I've actually got 3 Nico colonies now. I've got a founding one at the moment, and when getting them to a year, I had about 1,000.
Wow.
So, but then and then from a year to 2 years, I had about 4,000.
Wow.
They've had a massive die off, so both of my colonies are not doing particularly brilliant at the moment. So
how big was your leaf cutters when you got them?
Easiest way to say it is they come in a tub like that with the fungus, and it was about half full. So it was half full, but it was a little ball.
Nitron.
So it's a very interesting size to what they get with, and literally, I think they got to about 6 months, and literally, the colony just exploded, and it was playing catch up with them sort of thing. But at the moment, they're probably 3,000-4,000, and then obviously in there as well, you got like I like to call them tanks because they're massive. Like you get the soldier ants, and they're huge, and like I'll see if I can find a photo. I should have a photo on my phone. But they're literally they're like tanks, and they're like proper beastly. Yeah, so.
Oh wow!
So you kind of get the comparison of what they're like. How big?
They've got a set in a shop. Not Shirley Aquatics, was it?
Oh right. Yeah.
One of the aquatic shops quite close to us, and that was really cool because they've got like the upright cylindrical fish tanks. Got one of those full of the leaves and one of those full of fungus, and then they've got a tube which literally just goes all around the shop.
No, it weren't Shirley Aquatics. It was the other one we took the boys to.
Yeah, what was it called?
Some garden centre.
Yeah, garden centre. Well, one of them.
You mean the leaf cutters that they had?
Yeah.
Leah was mesmerised by them, wasn't he?
Yeah. They're just expensive. It's like 130 quid for a queen and a couple of workers. It's just like
the acro. So if you go with the Mexicanos, which I don't even know if that's. I call them Mexican hats because it's easy to fucking pronounce. They're 180 quid.
Jesus.
But if you've watched any of like Ant Oliver's stuff, you kind of see the scale of what they can get to. Like ridiculous. And obviously now, it was quite funny because
he's gone a bit Ants Canada for me.
Yeah.
It's just like watching another version of Ants Canada. It's like
yeah, absolutely.
His shorts are very much like, yeah, this one goes there, though. And I'm like, whoa, slow down a bit.
It's like 50 million mile an hour.
Yeah.
But it's quite funny because obviously went to AntCon this year, and obviously the founders, as they call it, for last year. And
pop on Critter Den if you want to show it on stream. Critter Den says not an invert related, but one of our gargoyle geckos is hatching as a type. That is pretty epic.
That's cool. But meeting Alex, he's actually quite funny. You know, it's like he's definitely like and you see him at Antcom with his fucking camera, and he's like proper like filming everything with his gyro camera. It's like, but
I've got
literally
one of those, but I've got the holder, but I do everything on my phone now. I've got the Sony SV1, but to be fair, it's the equivalent of an S23 anyway.
Well, yeah.
The only difference is the Sony will give you pure 4K, so it's a lot smoother. But for ease of access, you can't beat a phone. And at the end of the day, I always wanted the channel to be anybody could do the same thing. So
that's the thing is, I use OnePlus Node 5 G5. I use for all my filming needs, and I use one of them phone clamp things or whatever it is, or one of them.
Yeah.
And that is it. That's literally my filming equipment.
I've got a couple of tripods that I've kind of collected over the years, and then like a knockoff Gorilla thing to hold the actual phone as well. That's what I've got the phone on right now, actually. But they're not. I don't know. They're not as good as what you think. Because you watch the adverts, and it's like they will clip on anything and they'll hold anything, and in reality, it's like not really.
No, so these ones are fucking. This one not so much because it bends really easy.
Yeah.
But fucking clamps to anything I want it to, and it's generally all right. But when I'm doing like my live streaming, what I've actually got is I've got one of them Razer phone cooler things. It costs about 60 quid, but it's so because obviously if you're doing live streaming, your battery goes you get about lucky if you get about 2 hours out of the battery.
Yeah.
So with this this Razer phone, it's like a gaming thing. Clamp it to the phone, and literally because it
got a battery in it.
No, it's you plug it in USB. So it takes knocks it down to about 12 degrees. So it actually cools it down, so you can continuously. I think for one of them, I done a live stream. I think it was about 40 odd hours, and it went all the way through. The only time it dropped out is if my internet went down.
See, the battery on the S23 is flipping amazing.
Yeah,
Prior to that,
that's why I got the Ultra as well.
Yeah, the S9 was literally dead within a couple of hours at a show. The 23 was still 50% when I get home at night. It's crazy.
After that show, I had a sore throat and a half because literally I was talking up until about 4 o'clock, and then obviously there was 3 of us, and then it was like, so you just had enough time to have a drink, and then you're going back and talking to people, and then obviously, oh, by the way, I've ordered that Venus for you.
My wife's been a channel member for just over 2 years.
All right.
For 25 months. Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That you don't even realise you've been monetized that long. It doesn't feel like it's been 25 months, 2 years.
No, it's like on my other channel because I've got PJ Grant 85, which is my dash cam one. That is actually monetized, but try and keep that above that 4,000. Jesus Christ, to keep that monetization up, it's hard stuff.
Yeah, I didn't think you had to. I didn't think you had to after that.
Oh no, I know that. I think it's in the space of a year.
Yeah, 4,000 watch hours in the last 365 days.
Yeah,
to become monetized. But then I don't know. I got
demonetized because I dropped below 4,000.
I get 2 to 3K a month at the moment.
That's good. But you got nothing to worry about.
But then you also got to take into consideration I do a live once a week. I do 2 videos each week, every week, and now I'm also putting out the odd one on a Saturday.
Yeah.
For like beginners. Daryl's just gifted a membership, and that's gone to Aaron. Aaron's been gifted a channel membership. Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate that, dude. That's awesome.
Wow.
I benefit now. Aaron's going to benefit. I need to do a channel members live stream. I might do that this Saturday actually, around, I don't know, maybe 2-3 in the afternoon. I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Welcome back, Leah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I think Leah was saying she's got quite a few Colin events going at the moment.
After.
Oh, no worries, Critter Den. That's awesome. Critter Den said they would, but their 9-year-old's far too excited and won't go to bed.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Leo, for the first time I don't know how long, actually went to bed at 7:30 and fell asleep. Could not
really?
believe it. Yeah, it's still asleep now. Unbelievable.
Well, for doing this live, mate, I've gained 15 subs.
Hey, Sally. Oh, awesome.
15 subs.
Awesome. Appreciate everybody that's dropped in. That's what the lives are about, though, and that's what the community is about. It's not about like one person doing better than somebody else. It's about everybody growing at the same rate. And you know, if somebody can help somebody else, then happy days. Happy days.
And it's quite funny because when I was at Bristol, and obviously when they're selling ants, I was giving people stickers to put in the box. I said, yeah, if you want to have a look at any of my stuff, I've got a YouTube channel. I've only got 300 and odd subs, but if you want to see me act like a complete prat, I said, feel free to watch it.
I had there's a couple of people came in where I work, and one of them had a spider tattoo, and just got chatting, and they're both now subscribed. But like I said, luckily my manager follows the channel anyway, so she didn't really mind too much, I don't think. But it's a chilled out environment where I am anyway. Low pressure when there's a load of people in, obviously, but it's all right. I like it.
Yeah, no, it's it's like. Do you reckon you're going to make it to AntCon?
Leah's got 16 queens at the minute. Sorry?
Do you reckon you're making it AntCon next year? Because I know you was on about it last year. For this year,
I had a ticket for this year, just couldn't get there. And Callum and Steve could actually, they couldn't actually give me a lift because they were stopping overnight.
That's the only problem, isn't it? And
I wasn't working, and I didn't have a car, so hopefully for the next one, it should be all good to go.
Yeah, you get to see me dressed up as an ant.
I went to Thomas's.
Yeah, I see that. That's a recent one, isn't it?
Yeah, managed to get a lift there and back, and that was Steve and Callum gave us a lift there and back. That was good.
I suppose because the other thing is you're right up the other neck of the country, aren't you? Coventry. So
I'm in the middle of the UK. Yeah.
Well, it's a lot northern to me.
You are,
right down south.
AntCon's in Wales. It's like just 2-hour drive.
For me, about 3.5 hours.
But I mean, looking at Thomas's, apparently his was dead last year, and this year he said he had about 500 through. I think he had more like 4, maybe 450. Yeah. The talks, I don't know. One was like a rescue centre. One that I caught, and then the other one was Leah, who's in chat now. So unusual pets, unusual encounters she does. So that's her and her husband, and they'll go to parties or a school or whatever it could be, and they'll get all the animals out, the reptiles and stuff like that. So I had the great privilege of helping her other half, Terry.
I think I met him at. I think because I was at Bristol, weren't they?
With this massive snake, and mate, it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. And then, you know, I think the other difference is there's a lot of sellers at Thomas's as opposed to AntCon.
Yeah, I'd say it's more of an invert than it is. Would you say?
50-50. 50-50. Yeah, but it'd be nice. It would be nice to see like AntCon do something similar.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just down because he actually does it out of his shop itself, so he's kind of limited of what he can do.
But he could go Sports Centre.
Yeah. I think because the other thing is because where everything's there, so I think it's a lot more easier. If you get what I mean.
No, I get that. I understand that. Critic Den says it seems such a great community. We've been watching the lives for a few weeks now and really enjoy them. Critic Den, it's an amazing community. You can just feel the love when you look down the comments, man. The WhatsApp group again. We've got the Scots Inverts Army Facebook group as well. And I think Leah's admin on both of those. But yeah, we haven't got time for negativity. And if somebody is like real negative, I don't mind helping and talking and seeing if we can't get rid of the negativity and stuff. But generally, everybody's really positive, really happy. If somebody feels a little bit down or something like that, there's always somebody around to talk to, all the rest of it. Whatever time of day normally. Aaron Moon has now been a channel member for 6 months.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely.
Leah, I think you are.
At the moment. Was that 16 queens of the same species, or was it 16 different queens? Obviously, I'm going back over the previous chat.
With Leah, I think she's got queens of the same species. Well, I think she's only got a couple. I don't know.
Right.
Amy says it's a fantastic community. I am the least social person, but I actually like being part of it all now. Yeah, she's got 16 queens, 3 species.
Yeah.
It's a good community. I mean, Leo will probably tell you, when I first come into the community, it was very cliquey, and there was cliquey groups and all the rest of it. My aim then was like, this is just inclusive of certain people, exclusive of others, and who's got the biggest cock type syndrome. And I was like, this has got to stop. Or if it doesn't stop, then maybe we can create something different, to go by. And I hope we've all just made a happy community now.
Well, it's definitely the way to look, and especially going forward with things. Like, I'm pretty much like, I'll get on with anyone. I really don't care. I'm probably like, I can just talk to anyone and everyone, even if I, well, look at Bristol sort of thing, because obviously a lot of people are going there for all the other stuff, but obviously it's like, oh, ants. Oh, that's different. And it's like, and it is a very interesting hobby to be in. The same with the tarantulas and stuff like that. It's very interesting.
Let me just stop you. It's the same hobby.
Yeah.
It's the same hobby. We keep mantis, we keep ants, we keep leeches, slugs, snails, all sorts. It's the same hobby. And I honestly think like the whole lot, the ants, the reptiles and the spiders and all the others you could think of that invert related should just be invert community job done, or invert and the reptiles. Maybe it should just be like the animal community as opposed to different sections, because I've said this before as well, right? If the government decide to say, right, that's it, we can't have no more inverts into the country, so no more ants, no more this, no more spiders, you guys are going to be annoyed, we're going to be annoyed, you guys are going to try and make an event on a Saturday, we'll try and do it on the Wednesday, where really is if we both come together and go at the same time, there's more voices, more power. So that's really what we need to aim for. So people arguing with each other, no, let's, especially when it's over stupid stuff or stuff that happened ages ago. I can't deal with that. If somebody's got an issue with something that happened months ago, it's just like say your piece back then.
Just get over
it. Now get over it. It really, I mean, I appreciate people come from like different backgrounds and have different issues going on and stuff like that, but there's people to talk to as well. And I also appreciate it's not, it's hard to talk to people, but you can't find, people more open and more willing to just to sit and say nothing and listen than what you do in this community.
Yeah, and obviously
Hey,
we're always here,
Zombie.
like, to give people advice, and especially going on the way forwards and doing things like obviously there's certain species of ants I really ain't got a clue about. But then obviously, like when my Nico's done really well, they got up to about 6,500 at one stage, and like I didn't know anyone else other than Answered like to have quite a successful Connolly's events. But then
With ants, I'd kind of looked at them as a kid, got bitten by a lot as a kid,
as you do,
as you do, gone and like broke the odd red ant's nest and stuff like that as a kid, not knowing any better. Watched the Nigerians and stuff like that, and thought A1 eater, and thought these are pretty cool. Watched the leaf cutters, and I've always thought leaf cutters are like the dream. They are the dream. And it was very much a case of, it was in my childhood. If there's a documentary on, I would watch it. And then Callum come along to the channel, Happy Ant UK, who's now a really good friend of mine and everybody in chats, to be honest, and obviously yourself. And his love for them just rubbed off. And then it's through Callum we met Ryan, which is Antscapes. We had him on a live, and he actually reached 1,000 subscribers on a Tuesday live. It was
wow.
It was just like, that was mind blowing. It was just awesome that happened that night, because it was just a wicked live. And then also thanks to Callum again, we got introduced to Richard and Sid, who, Sid looks like a grumpy fart, doesn't he? But you chat to him, and he's awesome. His face just lights up when somebody says hello. The rest of the time, he's just like pottering around like a little ant until you stop him, and then he's like, "Yay!"
But he's he's flat out, like how big Richard, his business has got. He's literally flat out, and like orders sometimes take a bit of time, but that's due to how busy he is. He hasn't even released Gen 4 stuff yet, and it's quite annoying because he's got some really good Gen 4 stuff, and it's amazing. And it's like I keep bugging him. Okay,
when's it coming out? When's it coming out?
Yeah. Exactly. He said it's still in production. I said, as I'm an investor, because I've spent so much money with him, I said, so the Diversa, the Caribou Diversa, how much is that for me then? He goes, it's still in production. I can't sell it to you. I went,
he took some enclosures to BTS, which I was just like, these are nice. We have similar in the spiders kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but they've definitely not the same. Which was the open tops with the LED light, and I kind of looked and I thought, for the sake of 3D plastic printed and a mesh, that's also a spider tank with literally your LED grow light over the top. You could also go, we'll put some isopods in there actually with a load of moss or whatever you wanted to do. And it weren't just the case of, these look good and practically they're going to be fantastic. Because any enclosure you could mess around with or manipulate, if you like. It was just the fact that they just looked futuristic, super modern, and super fucking cool. And you could just imagine them being in anybody's house.
And the other thing is, with the Gen 4 stuff that you've seen, is actually it's a combined between the Gen 2 modular stuff and the Gen 3 stuff, and he's combined the two together, and it's literally really good of what he's done, combining the two together.
And then when you chat to Richard, I mean, I chat to him every now and again, and normally it's like a 2-hour conversation on Facebook, and ideas are just going bang, 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 bang. I had to apologise to him actually because I didn't have chance to go outside and check out his new van.
Oh, didn't you?
which
Yeah.
is sign written, isn't it?
Mm.
Which is really annoying because his van was the first one to be sign written like that before the Spider Shop's one, and the Spider Shop one's got all the attention. And it's like, if you're ever at a show and you see a really old van with Antics written all over it, go check it out. It's awesome.
Especially
It's air cooled, isn't it? It's air cooled van as well. So if he's in traffic, he could be knackered. But
yeah.
And if you can never get hold of him, he's out on a boat somewhere, isn't he?
Oh yeah, especially out in the old Mediterranean. He's got a boat, and but
somebody messaged me and said, Scott, who do I go to? Because my 9-year-old is looking at ants, but doesn't know what. And he said to me, he says, I don't know what to get, what to do, or anything. And I literally messaged Richard and says, can this person send you the details and all the rest of it? Because obviously his son and blah 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 blah. And it was just like, yeah, of course. So I sent him a picture, sent the other guy a picture. Now they're just chatting about what ants will be best, because a 9-year-old is not going to want a colony that's going to explode, but they're also not going to want one queen sitting there for months on end doing nothing. They're going to want some activity going on. So they're going to want a queen. They're going to want a queen and several workers already. And Daryl has upgraded to level 2 on the membership. Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, especially the old Ligberperga. They're like the slowest ant you could ever get.
Yeah, we've got a queen and 3 eggs.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah.
Where are they?
They are cool because the pure size of them. They are cool, but they're damn slow.
Yeah.
She's amazing. But she's so damn slow. It's like it's probably the most slowest ant with the turnaround.
She is cool. The only thing I don't like about the ants is like when you keep them in there, because it's just like, what's it doing? What's it up to? What? Yeah.
See, the best
Do you know what I mean?
The best thing about the Venus is you can put it up on a top shelf, have it slightly hanging over, and you can look underneath the test tube and stuff like that. And you can look up and you think, oh, she's doing well. You haven't got to touch her and stuff like that. And it's brilliant. Especially when you get the more sensitive ants.
Alfie, Meredith, do you know if there's any early access at the shows? My son really enjoys them, but he has autism, really struggles with the noise and how packed they are. Yeah, of course. Just go to the front of the queue and explain the situation. They'll let you in 10 minutes early. Unless it's hammering it down outside, then they let everybody in 10 minutes early. But I think that's just an exceptional circumstance. But they will let you in early. Craig says, I left the community at least about 10 years ago in snakes, tarantulas and dragons. Back then, it was a horrible place here in Cornwall. But I do think the hobby and the community is coming back better. Well, when I joined, if you mentioned, again, Leah's in chat. Leah will tell you exactly it's the same. When we were kind of posting on Facebook, if you used common names on majority of the groups, you'd get slated instantly. And it was like, this ain't what keeping's about, you know. And people were saying, yeah, but the same common name covers different spiders and all this, that, and t'other. And it's like, yeah, okay. So if I know it as a Venezuelan sun tiger and you know it as a Psamopaeus amernia, but you know I'm talking about an amernia, and I know I'm talking about the sun tiger, and it's the same spider, what the fuck matter? What difference does it matter? And if you put a picture of it up and say Venezuelan sun tiger, you know, Mr. Scientist will know it's a Psamopaeus amernia. So what the fuck? What's it matter? And when everybody joined the community, originally started, their first spider was probably called a curly hair or a salmon pink. And then it's only as they've developed in their hobby that they've gone to scientific names. Now suddenly they're on the high horse, you know, getting down newbies' throats. And it's just, and like I was saying, I think at the start, it was just very much like, nah. I created my own group, Invert Pets Worldwide. I was just like, you can use common names because I literally put a post up saying purely scientific names excludes people from our community. We need to be more supportive. And at the end of the day, you were in that same position when you first started. So common names are welcome on this group alongside a picture of the spider. So those that use the scientific names will also know what spider it is.
Yeah.
And if I think for myself, and like I said, Leah, it's now spread out across people with autism and stuff like that. When they were on Facebook, there's a bit of negativity as well, and now it's very much like we don't exclude, we include. I mean, the Tarantula Collective finally caught up. He put a status up on his Facebook group literally today, and I read it and I thought, fucking hell, mate, we did this 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's going over to the bigger platforms. It's even fucking better. Tony says, yeah, I'll stop posting a lot of Facebook groups because of the toxicity in them. Interesting to hear about the ants. Been listening in the background whilst feeding. Scott says, Craig says, sorry, totally agree. Tony said the snake community I've noticed is terrible for it. Bugsy says in Kerno we had the shittiest shop only, and they still have no shop knowledge on inverts. Yeah, I'm really privileged in Coventry to say that I've got a place called KBN Reptiles where I first started going. Yeah, an OBT gets an OBT out. This is an orange mad bastard thing, crazy. Followed by this is a scientific name. They come from here. The venom's quite high. All the rest of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just good. It's just good. It's like with Avix. If you kept Avix, you were suddenly labelled as, there was memes that were out for Avic keepers that were really negative to themselves and really negative to the gay community as well. Because if you kept Avics and put a picture of an Avic up, you could get a meme, saying that you were gay and all this and other, or a picture of like men wearing leather, and that was Avic keepers, and it was just like, are you taking a fucking piss? Are you serious? This was only like 4 years ago, and I was
crazy.
like, you've just insulted one person by assuming their sexuality, and you've just insulted a whole community. The whole gay community. You've just gone. It was just crazy. So all that's kind of stopped. I mean, if you went into a massive deep search, you'd probably find it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy.
See,
I love that this is a welcoming, kind community. The odd one causes issues, but they soon float to the front and disappear. Certainly do, Leah. Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
So I'm quite lucky with the tarantula scene, because obviously I got bought some tarantulas, and obviously Scott is actually my boss at work in his main job. So
is he?
He's actually my boss. So it's like, so it's quite good. So if I ever want to get anything like live food and stuff like that, I'll say to him, because they got live food in the shop, I say, oh, can you message Dan to bring some food home, and then you can bring it into work tomorrow. So that's not too bad. Yeah.
I'll just message Danielle to let her know. I can't. I know they're pretty busy at the moment.
Flat out, isn't they?
Yeah, Danielle and Scott are lovely. Yeah. I had literally the pleasure. I worked with them at a Coventry show last year because they were down by a member, and I think Luke from Spar Spiders said, "Ask Scott, he's trustworthy," and all the rest of it. And yeah, they were awesome couple. Leah says, I'll be proud to have an Avic. Only got one, need 10. I love the Avics. This the Peru Purple was the latest one. It's a fluffy, cuddly thing, and it just sits out all day. All day on the outside of its tube. It's doing it right now. Just sits there. I don't know.
Oh, it's quite funny. I bought a forest scorpion off of Dan and Scott.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they did what Scott did to it because
What do you mean the story scorpion? You're supposed to say the species name. Joking. Hey, Juanita.
big black stingy thingy. That's
it's got a stinger on the back. But the thing is, with what was that? With the Asian forest scorpions, you keep them all the same anyway. So
yeah, with this one, oh mate, this thing was the most arsiest thing. Like, I thought, oh, that's all right. I said, can you? Will it sting you and stuff like? Can you pick it up, put it in your hand? And he goes, yeah, you can do all that. No, this thing wanted to kill me. Every time I entered the room, it would go, yeah, if you come near me, I'm gonna fucking have you. And every time I come in, it would go for the tank at the side of the tank trying to get me. I said, did you touch its bumhole before giving it to me, and you like sexually harassed it or something, and that's why it wants to kill me? So in the end, I thought, nah, because every time I went trying to go in the thing, it was trying to climb up and get out, and obviously try and get me. And so I said, Scott, you can have it back. I said it's too arty, and forever it was always trying to escape as well.
mine just make a load of noise. Literally, they're clunking and clonking.
Oh, was it?
All sorts, yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty into the scorpions. Not so much the Heterometrus anymore, but I think I've done them to death.
Yeah.
I think I gave my what was it now? I think it was Sciensis to Tim to try and breed up, and then I've got a Spinifar adult and baby, Solanus, Red Cave Scorpion, which I can't remember the scientific name at the moment.
Yeah.
For the female, the male passed away, but she looks gravid again. Also got one of their scorpions because I bred them and she ate them all apart from one which managed to escape. So I was just like, I think I was the second person in the UK to breed her, and George was the first. So that was like a quiet win. But yeah.
So I've had two scorpions. I had obviously the forest, and obviously I had a desert scorpion as well. And I found that
desert scorpion, Arizona.
I found them more pleasurable to watch.
Yeah, I do, Anton.
So, and I thought they were pretty cool. But the one I got, because it died of old age, because obviously I didn't know how old it was when I got it. But it was cool, and literally I had it sat in front of one of the tubes in its house. I had it sat in front of the tube in front of the ants, and then you see the scorpion just sat there watching the ants as it's going by, and then every now and again it'd forget that the perspex was there, and it'd try to go for the side of the tank.
Darryl, are there any scorpions that sit out? The desert species more so than the Heterometrus. So yeah, Leah says Israeli gold, Palmatos, Javosis, is it? Javosis? I can never pronounce that one right. But basically, if you go on, I think Spider Shop have got a load in at the moment. So if you pop over there, any of the yellowy coloured scorpions tend to be out more than the darker ones. The thing with the Heterometrus is they like to go into small dark holes that are very tight fitting and just stay there. But that's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nameless, you should hold your Asian scorpion so it can learn your smell. I've never heard that one, dude. Never.
Yeah, no, I'll give it back. I thought, yeah.
That's the thing there. When you get them as an adult, majority of scorpions only live 5 years as an adult. So, if you buy an adult, it could be 4-year-old, could be 4 years as an adult, or 3 years as an adult.
And this was an adult because it was full size one. And the other thing is, when I got it, I thought that's all right. I had something on top of the lid so it wouldn't push the lid up. Comes in one day, I thought, oh, there you go, go feed it. And I looks, and the fucking after the lid's off, and I gone, that was on when I last come here. And the scorpion had 24 hours on me, and I thought, and this is in the summer as well. I thought it's when we had that really fucking.
Where have you gone? Yeah.
And I've gone, fuck, where's it gone? So I'm like literally scurrying around, and I thought, and I especially Scott, I went, if the scorpion's got out, what's a lot of chance it's quite nearby? He goes, why? What's happened? I said, well, it lifted the lid up after I had a bit of weight on it, and it pushed it up, and it got out. But it was on the top shelf. It was literally right up on the top shelf. So I'm looking around, gently doing things like that. I thought, where the fuck's this thing gone? So I've started moving the boxes out of the way. I thought maybe it wedged itself between the boxes. Nothing. I thought, and then where I was treading, I thought, fucking, where is it? So I'm looking under the counter. I thought, it's not there. And the next thing, I had my hand on the carpet, and I felt it move. I thought, what the fuck was that? So I lifts it up, and literally, I got a pair of feeding tongs, lifted it up, and lucky I didn't put my hand there because the scorpion was right where my hand would have been. And then it's reared up, and I'm going, "Oh, you're pissed off, aren't you?" And it was majorly pissed off that I put it back in its house.
Mandy said the Desert Scorpion and Blue Death Vein and Beetle combo at TSS has been attempted. Tell me about it. Leah says the black light, so UV light or the black light as it's known. If you get one of those out, it shines up the scorpion, so the scorpion glows underneath that light. So if it ever got out, you could shine a black light round and then ping, there it is.
Yeah.
Andy said Major Forrest looked going for a wander up his arm.
Yeah, see, my one, it was underneath the carpet. So, but yeah, right, turn all the lights out, do a blue light. There, Bob, your uncle, there she is. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. And ever since then, it was proper arsey. But I think it's because I nearly trod on it. But that was by accident because I didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
But lucky enough, it was literally between the plywood and the floor. There was about like that, and obviously what it done is it had wedged itself between the two.
Yeah.
So it was quite lucky in that sense. but I ended up giving it back to Scott, and I said, "Yeah, no, you can have it back. This thing's too arsey."
Dark Haven. I have a picture of someone keeping a large corn snake in an Exoterra cube. Why do people do that? Because they're assholes.
Mm.
If they put a picture out about, hopefully, the people that have seen it and know them have made the appropriate phone calls, and it's now in something a bit better.
Yeah. But, fucking. Yeah, I just don't get people, especially when they don't do their research and stuff like that, and they think it's an acceptable thing to do when it's not.
The only thing now, I mean, like nowadays, you've got a thing called the internet, so it's not even like you've got to go to a library and find a book or hunt through the secondhand bookshop to try and find something. It's literally all out there. With YouTube, it's a bit harder because you've got to come across the right channels to have the right information or the most up-to-date information there is. That's difficult because there's a lot of entertainment value channels and there's a lot of channels that just regurgitate Google. And I think if you're doing something like Care Video or something, you've got to have owned that animal and had experience with it to be able to actually produce something like that. Do you know?
Yeah, actually, a lot of my contents on my channel is basically vlogs. And obviously, it's obviously, as you know, with vlogs, it's your experiences and stuff like that, the way I'm doing things. Obviously, none of my stuff's scripted. It's basically how you when you film it, I talk, and that is it.
Yeah, I don't do scripted.
No.
I don't do planned. If the only plan to do is if I'm doing a show, and I'm going to do a show video.
Yeah.
If I'm going to Spa and I'm going to do a Spa video. If I've gone to the show and I've picked up some inverts, I kind of think, well, the next couple of videos will be rehousing them. But those times are pretty good for me, really, because what that does is, like the last two videos I filmed a couple of weeks ago, so then I get like a couple of weeks off doing them.
Yeah.
But Leah's just sent some videos, so I hope I can show them all right. Actually, I've got an idea. Actually, what we'll do is instead of going like this, I'm going to try and load them up to here and then go from there. So just give me a quick second.
Yeah, it's quite funny when I do like the when I fuck up on my videos. I literally add it at the end. Yeah. Everyone likes an outtake. Oh, here we go.
Oh no, that's not. There we go. That weren't supposed to come straight in like that. Right, where are we? There we are. Right, so if we go to there, kaboom. He's kind of one eater. You just got to bear with Dave at the moment. Come on, hurry up and load in. There we go. Hey, Emma. Oh, change the name to Urban Photography. That would be interesting. But no, he's still going between caravans. I think he's got keys, and I don't want to say too much because I don't know what he wants to allow out. Now, these haven't got any sound, but these have just been sent in from Leah over at Unusual Pets. Boom. Well, that's much better. That's a stunning scorp, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, both took from a TikTok, so check out a YouTube and a TikTok. That's the black light she's on about. So you can just shine it in, and boom, there they are.
Yeah, cool.
Dead simple. She also says you can't make a video about caring for something if you've got no experience. Yeah, because you see, like, I mean, I don't mind naming him because I hate him. Robbie, he does videos of stuff that he's never kept, or just literally, when he talks, it's just like you're reading that from Google, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, so my pronunciation of things is pretty shit. So I usually come up with my own abbreviation for it.
Mate, the subscribers normally slate me for it on a Tuesday, and I'm just like, what? You know, you gotta, you know. What it does do is if somebody else can't pronounce it properly, but when they say the name, you know, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
it just encourages them to, when they're at a show, instead of being so, oh yeah, have you got one of those spiders with the blue and the yellow bits on? They can go, well, it's a pokely, and then and it's just more acceptable to fuck names up than it was 4 years ago. That's for sure. I mean, Telitical. How the hell did anybody go, oh no, I had to pronounce that? Because when I looked at that, I was just like, what the fuck? How do you even?
The closest I get that is delete tell. Yeah, that do. Not a correct pronunciation, but hey.
It was Telitical, right? And I was like, look, nobody's going to pronounce that, but it just sounds like titty cow. So cow boob. So as soon as you say cow boob, everybody knows dickhead can't say Taliti cow. But they know what genus you're talking about. Craig says, totally like when I was a falconer, there was no YouTube. It was learning from another falconer and training my kestrel every day for 3 months before letting her fly free.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. It's you just got to. I mean, like I always say, if you only subscribe to me, you're making a mistake, because you want to be subscribed to as many different channels as possible in case
Indeed.
in case your favourite one misses something. You know, I'll use Dave because I know Dave won't mind me mentioning stuff at all. Dave does a lot of planted, mossy type builds. You know, not the spider guy does normal basic. This is how you can keep a spider, and there's nothing wrong with them both. But what that also shows is if you haven't got your plants, or if you haven't got your moss, or maybe you've only got cocoa fiber, it's like, oh, I can still rehouse it into a bigger enclosure. I've not got to worry too much. It is good when like you're chatting to Dave on a live or something like that, or he shows all the baroplast that he's got as well as the nice glass stuff. That's always encouraging. A lot of the bigger channels just go, every single tank's got to be a showpiece, and it's like that's not spidering. That's not how you do it. That's not spidering at all. You know, some of your tanks are absolutely amazing showpieces, and some of them are bog standard setups. And both spiders in both enclosures are absolutely happy. But I think what the if you only see your channel doing amazing enclosures, it can be off-putting, because you might think, oh, I need to buy all glass enclosures to be like that person. Does anyone know anything about camel spiders? I read up on them and I thought I knew a fair bit, but my little girl's not eating. Oh, Emma, it should be eating a lot. They eat a lot. Their main cause of death in the wild is through starvation.
I'm not laughing.
It should be eating a lot. Have you got a thermostat on it? Are you taking it up to around 38 degrees in the day and dropping it down to around 24 to 26 at night time? The best I was going to do, I did think about doing a care video on camel spiders, but the House of 1,000 Inverts, Bear, has got the most amazing one already. So highly suggest that you pop over and check his video out. I think he's got 4 or 5 that he's kept for a couple of years. Hey, Juanita.
Hi, Scott.
How are
you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. You?
I'm pretty good. What's going on? I love this able to talk to you guys.
You still winning the battle?
But I'm still winning the battle. They gave me some nasty stuff that is named the Red Devil. If you ever hear anybody's going to be trying that, tell them to get all the information they can from that stuff. I went down a rabbit hole that I was not happy with 4 days afterwards. My husband even asked if he should take out the guns. Luckily, I got over that.
But the big C's fucking off. Pain in the ass, so they're all right.
You love this? It's great.
I told you, it's a female version of Dave.
Yeah, I know. So is Dave in his place or moving in now? Do you know?
You'd be most welcome in the UK.
Do you know if Dave's moving into his house yet?
I think he's got keys, but I don't think he's moved in. But like I said, I don't know. I don't like to say other people's stuff unless they've said, yeah, you can say it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping he is.
He might be doing a video or something. I don't know. I don't know. But if I have spoke to him, he's all right, yeah.
He's a great guy, and so are you. I don't know
Appreciate
about this PJ. I haven't met him before.
Hello, you're right.
PJ keeps hands.
Currently got a Nico running around in my hand.
A what?
A Nico Brancis, and
Let's see.
So
they're pretty shy.
Well, I had him. What is it? She's a Theramosa apple, the Goliath pink toe bird eater.
Ah.
I know how to annoy PJ ants. I bought an ant lion.
Damn you.
It's not had an ant yet. I'm not going to. Well, I ain't giving it. I've got tiny, tiny roaches that it takes, and it's what.
How long do they live for?
I think it's around a year, 18 months as an ant lion. Then it goes to a cocoon. Then it pops out to be this massive fly, and it's like, what the fuck are we going to do with all these flies? Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, and I thought, I know Leah's got one as well. Like, so I think when it cocoons, I might just, I might send it over to Leah, and if it's male and female, then happy days. You know, hopefully Leah can breed some. But at the moment, it's just crazy because it's like a pit of sand that comes down to a pair of jaws.
Yeah, got 2 Nikos on me now. I think they're from my previous escape when I had about 2,000 of them escape.
The ant lion, Leah. One of your internet's playing up.
You're not mine.
Oh no, Leah's died. I'm not going to send her once it was a cocoon, Leah. I was going to send it to you because then if we had male and female, you could have bred some. But we can't hear you, Juanita.
And she's sideways.
We can't hear anything. No, nothing. No, can't hear you. You haven't put your... It's not on mute my end. If you back out, I'll put the link back in chat. Follow it back in.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll type it into the comments then highlight it so she can read it. There you go. Read that.
I had to work out which way my camera was facing.
I think she's got it. Yeah, she's got it.
Scott,
don't pull your beard too hard, mate. People will say see the elastic sides.
You missed that comment earlier, didn't you?
I probably chose to ignore if it was on about fake beard.
Yeah, he said Scott's got a fake beard, by the way, PJ.
Yeah, the fake beard is the only fake beard in the world that needs trimming every now and again.
Self-growing.
Yeah. It's been going on a long time now. Hello.
Hi there.
That's better. Got you back.
It's a pleasure to meet you again.
Hello.
How's your wife and kids?
Yeah, pain in the ass. So they're all right.
If they weren't, you wouldn't be happy.
Nope. If I didn't wake up in the morning, if the boys weren't trying to kill themselves, and if Layla weren't whinging about it and Tara having a complaint about it, then yeah, it wouldn't be something would be wrong. If it's quiet in this house and it's not night time,
that's trouble.
Something's gone fucking terribly wrong.
That's what I tell new parents. If it goes quiet, there's trouble.
Shit yourself, yeah. And with my boys, you do shit yourself. It's like, why are they so quiet? I mean, tonight they weren't even
4 grandsons.
They weren't even fighting. So the autistic one's lying on all fours watching his tablet, and then his younger brother is sitting on him and then rolling off his front. And every time he landed on the floor, they were both just howling with laughter. And then I don't know if you've ever heard of John Cena, the American wrestler.
Yeah.
So he does that thing where he jumps and does a flying elbow. Yeah, and they shout John Cena when he does it. the boys are doing that because that's Layla watches the wrestling. So the boys she's taught them to run and jump and shout John Cena. So they do that off the. If you're lying on the floor, you're getting it basically because Noah will jump up onto the side, shout John Cena, and land on you.
Kids are great. I kind of miss having my kids young, but you know, now I'm happy they're grown and have kids of their own, and I can live with my dogs and my spiders and be happy.
Yeah. I mean, but there's what? Noah's 4, Leo's 5. So, well, 3, 4. But so there's only like just over a year between them. So they're at that age where they can fight with each other almost on level ground now. So when they're older, if they get into any trouble, one's gonna have the other one's back, 100%. You know.
Right, I'm going to call it Scott because my son's up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I know.
No worries. Yeah, I'm not going to go on too long on myself, to be honest.
Well, thank you.
Get to your level.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, I've got one, 4.5.
Is your name PJ?
Yeah, PJ. Yeah, got one. He's 4.5. Starts school in September.
Yeah, you need another one.
No.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. One. No, definitely not. I only just started getting my sleep back after 4 years. One's enough. He's about 2 kids in one.
Well, our 5-year-old's autistic, so yeah, sleep is just like it took my wife a year of putting him to bed consistently at the same time for him to even think about a routine, and still now he can.
Yeah, no, one's enough. And, you know, as much as it'd be nice to have 2, but at the same time, but the issue is with that is having the room, and it's the financial side of it.
Yeah, that's true. Nameless, I'm going to do a channel members live this Saturday, probably about 3 p.m. UK time. But I don't do them at night time at the weekend because Mark does one on a Saturday, and then they've got like a I can't remember the name of it. Sorry, Leah, but they've got a joint one which Leah does on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm just we're all respectful of each other's nights and stuff like that. I don't think Mark's turned up tonight, or Phil, or Matt, but.
Well, as I was saying, I say good night. Thank you for all the support, guys, tonight and towards my channel. Let's say keep an eye on Friday's giveaway, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I think a few of us are going to join that one.
Yeah.
I guess you guys don't like me no more.
It's the internet. See you later, Juanita. It's the internet, not us. See you later.
Yeah, so I'll put the video up on Friday, and then it'll probably be the giveaway. I'll usually do a live, and that'll be the following Friday. So just keep an eye on Friday's video, and ready for next week's video.
Oh, no worries. See you later, PJ. Take care.
See you later. Good night, guys. Cheers.
I think I'm literally going to give it another couple of minutes. If anybody wants to pop up for the last 5 minutes, please feel free. Nameless, what I'll do is I'll ask Leah if she will put Mark's link into the comments. And if you go give Mark a subscribe, he does a Saturday Night Live. In fact, what we'll do is... in 1 second. Copy that. Go back to here. So if you click Nameless, if you click that link that I've just sent you, that's Chris's link. Chris does a live on a Friday. So it's worth giving him a subscription. Chris was the guy that was on earlier on the stream. Then on Saturday, it's Mark's, which is that link. It was great chatting to you all. Take care. Night Juanita. Juanita, the internet was playing up your end. I'm gutted because so many people, Juanita, have just literally commented after the last live that you came on and just said what an amazing woman, and really wanted to show their appreciation and love. It's a bit late in the UK, so quite a few of those are not actually on tonight in the comments. But my God, you've got some love this way, definitely. So you've got Mark's link, Chris's link. So Chris does a Friday, Mark does a Saturday. If you hook up to Leah, who's in chat as well, Nameless, that's pretty good. Or are you on Facebook, Nameless? Because if you are, let me just go to here. Give me 1 second. And if I go like that, if you join that Facebook group, which is my Facebook group, or the Scots Inverts Army one, what I'll do is ask Leah, are you on Instagram? Oh, that's a shame, because I'd ask Leah just to put out like a who's night, who does which night as a post again. But yeah, hook up to Chris, hook up to Mark, hook up to Leah. You also want Tarantula Rookie. Leah sometimes does a Wednesday, and then Matt, which is Tarantula Rookie, will also do a Wednesday as well. So they take it in turns almost. So just click these links that I'll put in, and you'll be absolutely fine. Sorry, I'm not talking. I have to kind of concentrate on one thing, otherwise it just gets all messed up. Just click on these links. I've just put Phil's in as well. Osmond's also put Phil's in, I think. Yeah, so you want Incredible Inverts and Other Animals, which does a live on a Monday, which his link's just gone in, which is Phil. Phil's also a zookeeper, so he can get some really interesting lives going and some conversations and stuff that you don't often come across, especially on kind of zoo animals and zoology, that type of thing. On a Tuesday is obviously me. Wednesday, Leah does most Wednesdays, which is Unusual Pets, which you should have hers now, and Tarantula Rookie, which Leah Unusual Pets is also put into the comments. Thursday, I don't know what's going on with Thomas, because Thomas isn't doing much on YouTube now, so I don't know if he's going to be doing a live on Thursdays or not. Friday it's Chris, who's in the comments with the link. Saturday's Mark. Sunday they take it in turns to do the live, but if you've got Leah, then you'll see it on there anyway. Phil is on Monday. Osmond just shared. But yeah, if you want to know how to do dubias like crazy, Chris is the guy, and Chris also does, like Bugsy says, a bit of breeding on there as well. I don't really on my lives. I don't show my own stuff because you guys see it all in videos anyway. So I don't see the point. Basically. Most welcome. But yeah, I'm just going to give it maybe another minute, and then we're going to call it a night for tonight, I think. What have I got coming out this Thursday? I think. Let me just check. we have got an Avic video this Thursday, actually. The Aviculia species Peru Purple. We're setting that up in a new enclosure, rehousing her, and yeah, that's what we're doing. It's not a care video because I've only just got this spider, so there's no point. And don't know enough about the species Peru Purple to actually do a full care video, if that makes sense. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. We're going to call it a night. Appreciate everybody's support as always. The channel member donation, thank you so much, Daryl, and for upgrading as well. Really appreciate that. Again, if you're a channel member, you do get 15% off at Spar Spiders. Luke is just literally everybody's best mate from the word go. He's such a nice guy. He's constantly kind of looking for new spiders, like new species or more sought after species, as well as keeping the kind of the everyday stuff as well. But Luke don't take the piss when it comes to prices, and one of the things I love about him and why I support him so much is the fact that the hobby comes before the money. Definitely. So I've got a lot of love for Luke, got a lot of love for Bugnut as well. Oh, cheers, Craig. Oh, Unusual Pets just put £2 on saying, love you, Scott, and to the family too. Thank you, Leah. Appreciate that. Yeah, Tara's just having a bit of a mad one. So when I didn't even tell you what had gone on, did I? So obviously Tara's stepdad passed away 3 days ago. Shanine, her sister, is a drug user. We got her into a rehab through my friends a little while ago, last year, and she come back out after 3 months instead of 12 and fucked up and what have you. But what she's done recently is this stepdad's passed away, and she's gone to the hospital pretending to be Tara, got the keys, got the bank cards, and basically got the keys to his flat, drained what was left in his bank, and then tonight the stepdad's side of the family was messaging Tara to the point where we've kind of had to go, look, you know, if you're going to threaten her, you're pretty much fucked. But the police got involved. So they've arrested Tara's sister for impersonating Tara and doing all that now. So it's all sorted. But she's been around the bush a little bit the last couple of days, bless her. I think my internet is dipping in and out. So call in a night. Take care all. See you at the next stream, says Mandy. Yeah, Leah, give her a call. She'll tell you it more in detail. Like, you know what I mean? She really will. But yeah, we'll end the stream. Thank you again for your ongoing support. It's absolutely crazy. Everybody that's watching, if I could just ask one favor from you guys, is that when you watch the actual videos, if you could comment on them and drop them a like, it would mean the world to me, because we can only grow this channel further by people doing that, because it helps to push it out. And when you watch like Leah's videos, Mark's and Phil's and Matt's as well, always just drop a comment, even if it's just nice video and that's all you say. That would be more support than what you possibly know, trust me. And I'd definitely love it, loads and loads. Bloody family sucks. Yeah, chosen family half the time is much better. Night Bugsy, night Wendy. But yeah, night everybody, take care. Cheers, Daryl, appreciate that. Like I said, you guys got no idea how much it all means to us. You lot just think, creators have got loads of friends and this, that, and t'other. Literally, it's the community, and that's it. You know, turn the stream off, and friend-wise, it's just everybody that's kind of in the community more than anywhere else. If that makes sense. But anyway, really appreciate your support. Cheers, Stu. Night, everybody. Take care.